That's the complete opposite of what I positioned that CFO should actually do. It's like, yeah, CFO, give them the drag. Maybe go take the Baron instead. Nah, GAM's controlling the narrative here. They said, nah, it's our Baron. We'll take this fight. Beautiful flash coming in, initializing this fight, and just gone. The absolute destructive power. Taking out Pyongyang just there. He just got shredded instantly. And then they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't go back in. Doggo's like, man, I gotta walk away. You're just dead, my friends.
Yeah, they do stop the stacking for now, but a more pressing issue, as these Baron minions are being worked on, that side lane being pushed up, you see there from Artemis. Has to be careful, can be collapsed upon with that Weaver's wall, but the team going up to assist. Top lane tower is not on for the world, down it goes. See how much they're able to continue pushing. Needing to wait for Ares to get their mid lane in, to have the 2 Baron minion waves pushing up, so there is a little bit more pressure on the map.
Ya, si Taki emang OP banget ini supportnya. Supportnya tim Secret Wells.
It's going to start approaching that tower.
Bagus banget Anyel.
Trying to take down this minion wave.
Lord Taki.
It's the slow march in here, Vestian. They can't just board it the 4 times. Even better, he's just gone! The dive was phenomenal. Rest is like the only tank here now. The rest of the team's trying to hold on. Drekthar, yes, low, but a successful pick up in this top side.
The jungle diff is huge,
just
brother.
Disastrous for CFO.
Artemis able to get the full channel ult onto Pyongyang on that Talia.
Dibully gini CFO lah.
The hell? When it comes to the bullet time, 3 items on that misfortune. 227.
Ngapain ulti? Aduh.
Yeah, CFO just trying to hold on for the bullet time. The rain is nice. Rest is so
Doggo.
low. Doggo is getting the damage off, but it's 4 members against 1. Can he get it there as they just have to back away? They've already taken mid in him.
Yeah, Ares able to take down the mid inhib while that fight happens.
Doggo 1v9
for CFO, but the inhib going down means constant super minions coming into that base. That will be happening in 2 minutes time when this dragon is spawning. Again, it is still soul point for GAM. They've got more than they need to make sure they can get into a good position for that next objective and pretty much cement the deal here.
Kalau gini terus masih Doggo tar lama-lama pindah ke LPL dah.
It's a best of 3 series though, Vestian, so I'm curious to see if they're just going to close this one out now.
Dikasih timnya gini banget.
They can just secure that vision, that early priority, and just see what's
lama-lama
possible.
Pindah,
CFO still not fully out of this series just yet. Equalizer's dropping early. 2-2-7-4 is going to get out using that hook. Just as the smite comes down, Drekthar is going to be able to get a little bit more cataclysm, but the Weaver's wall's good, and they do just burn summoners left, right, and center.
Can open up the opportunity now to look at this bot lane tower, though. A lot of aggression out of GAM.
Talia kayaknya udah gak efektif lagi deh. Talia Azir tuh kayaknya udah gak efektif lagi deh. Kecuali yang pakai Faker.
Man, they are unrelenting here. They are forcing as much as they can, and very well played by the side of CFO to navigate the situation. But things are going to be hard now as we head towards this dragon. Pyongyang does have his flashback up, and fortunately for them, Drekthar did just lose his.
There's that 4.5k gold lead now for GAM. They're feeling pretty comfortable about where they're
Doggo
at.
jadi sih sebenarnya, asal jangan keciduk aja gimana caranya.
This will be the next big fight. And it comes down to who can pull the trigger better. We're seeing Taki make some excellent engagements and pulling them in, but we're also seeing this cataclysm. We're seeing so much of Drekthar being able to follow up. And this is great communication that we're seeing. And that's what's leading to their success in these team fights. We're just not seeing it from CFO, but let's see if they can pull this around and start pulling the trigger themselves.
GAM controlling that mid lane. So important to get those minions pushed. It gives you a lot of room to move around that river. And it's going to take a while for CFO to get through those super minions and make way into that dragon pit. And we'll see if they even choose to.
2-2-7-4, they've caught out Rest and just 2 tanks. I want to try and help with the bullet time is absolutely shredding. There is no 2-2-7-4 in this game. Rest is trying to hold on. Doggo is trying to use the rune, but it's not going to be enough, and they're just going to have to concede. That's Soul heading over for GAM.
Inconsequential flag and drag miss, but what a fight out of GAM. They find a 2-man cataclysm and
Ini
absolutely
sih
2-2-7-4.
kalah ya, match 1 ya.
As soon as that aftershock goes down, the resistances aren't there, and he is just melted through. That's going to be the Ocean Soul now for GAM. The VCS representatives look to get their first game win here in the LCP, and not a long time until that possibly happens.
jungle diffuser. Jarvan Miss Fortune sih susah anjir. Apa musuhnya Jarvan Miss Fortune tapi nggak ada champion dash kocak.
GAM's just absolutely taking the initiative and saying, all right, we'll see two of you. We'll pull that. Let's go for it.
Absolutely.
Si Dogo 1/9. Dogo. Gambare Dogo.
Doing well for himself after a little bit of a hiccup in the bottom side of the map at one point. Still very, very strong now, and with that Ocean Soul, has just become a whole lot harder to deal with. Drakthar much the same. Guardian Angel now in that back pocket, so gets a second chance at life in these fights, whereas Shadow, full damage. He's in. If he dies, he is absolutely gone.
And the big question is how do you kill GAM at this point? Like, you have a GA on this J4, like, he's going to go in. He's fine to go in, because even if you do pick him up, he's just going to come back and keep doing more damage. At the same time, Ocean Soul's big. You've got a Bloodthirster on Artemis. Like, they are healing out the wazoo this series. So now the Baron is just absolutely shredded, and it's gone. They don't even know that it's happening.
Yeah. Don't even need their AD carry there, just perfectly capable to do it with Ares and
Kayaknya Ryze enak banget sih sekarang ya. Kayaknya nggak usah maksa-main Talia sama Azir lagi deh. Azir Talia hanya untuk Vector Chovy udah. Selain mereka berdua kayaknya dilarang make ini champion. Tidak efektif lagi.
Getting very, very strong in his own right. But unfortunately, the rest of the team really struggling to provide him that room that he needs to actually deal the damage in these fights to the level the likes of Artemis and the likes of Ares has been able to do.
Kebanyakan tank juga kayaknya. Kenapa nggak Lulu aja tadi? Dogo supportnya.
16 on Talia, just controlled, not dying. 5-1 and 2. Been playing so well. That Rabadon's getting so much agency. They are basically full build, even with a pink ward, but that's an equalizer. It's done a lot of damage, and they can just walk through top. They are just that far ahead at this point. Is 7k gold lead. That's another inhib down. They're looking at it. I think they're about to close this game out.
Yeah, 2 inhibs are going to fall. There's not that many minions, so maybe it's a little bit difficult for the time being. But still, marching in that top wave. There's another refreshed wave. The mid lane coming in and out as well. Final stand now for CFO here in their first game of 2026. GAM, they're pushing on in. Kaya, no equalizer, so he can't put that down on anyone. But still, a lot of tools
guys go in. Couldn't 274 wants to start this fight. The flick is good. But that's the GA. Yes, he's going to come back, but that is one big item down.
Oh my god.
Hold on just again. Still, these super powered minions are just blasting these towers. One more standing as they go for a little bit more. Rest is low. There's the Cataclysm in.
Mati satu. Gas. Oke, Dogo, gas, Dogo.
Shutdown going to Dogo. Can they hold on the ball? Times even better and picks up 2274. And now they're looking to walk it away, but still, it's a very healthy GAM.
Dogo is on fire. Tidak bisa cuy, dikejar aja sama Miss Fortune.
Look at Artemis, he's going for it. Shadow's gonna be just taken out. It's too much guys there, and a game 1 was looking so good.
Kalah emang kalau misalkan ini ngaruh banget Hongkyo sama Junjia ya.
Picked up by GAM in a very dominant fashion. There was some back and forth antics early on, but as soon as there was a slight gain in that macro play, they get that third dragon. Game looks so much more difficult from that point onwards. And now GAM, as they lead the series 1-0, are aiming to get this. Give CFO their second. It will be second loss in the LCP of all time.
Anjir, ada Kairi cu. Oh my god, is that Kairi? Kairi coy. Kairi main LoL eSport.
And this is what we talked about. Slight roster changes can throw things for a loop, but GAM have come out. They said our story has not changed. A couple picks here and there does not change the game plan, and they stuck to it so decisively. And big props. It was a lot of damage across the board, and you got to put it on that J4. It was just beautiful to see. Drakthar really putting in the work early.
GAM bukannya masuk world kemarin ya?
The invades were looking great.
Yang masuk world tuh Secret Well sama PSG.
To your laners, and they
GAM
just ran
nggak
away
lolos malah kemarin.
30k damage on Rumble. It didn't really feel like Rumble did all that much, but still, the damage is there.
Yeah, look, again, the Rumble damage is a little bit fake, because you are just Leandrizing Cassante, but Nonetheless, this game for me, MVP just has to be Drakthar. The entirety of this
jungle
early game
diff
was just him
sumpah.
completely dominating Shadow. And that, you have to say, is something that CFO is not used to. Last year, they almost never had a losing jungle. And so coming in, I mean, the game is just so much different when your jungler is not ahead. And Drakthar was really just putting the absolute pressure on Shadow the entirety of this game. And the rest
Yang
of
masuk
GAM were
PSG
always
sama
there to follow
Secret
up on it.
Wells.
Not always did it go well. Just here, Pyongyang finds a fantastic fight for himself. But look how cohesive this GAM lineup is. As soon as they have any avenue into fight, they are all pulling the trigger at the same time. And that is why we see such success. It's not that every fight of theirs is a great fight to take. It's that they're all committing to it.
Yes, and that comes down to the great communication they got. I think 2274. Look, I gave him a lot of props, but I still think he had some honorable moments as well. But he was pulling the trigger too fast. The team wasn't ready. He was a little bit overzealous in his moves.
Bang
I think
Shadow,
that cost him, but it felt like Shadow
dah.
was sort of just potentially in the shadows a little bit too much. The team wasn't able to back him up when these invades came out.
Bang Shadow, lu main itu aja dah. Nidali dah, Nidali Sinzal.
Again, I'm still looking at Eris as well. This Rise, the Smurf was just absolutely doing wonders in regards to damage. The CCing, the lockdown, everything they were doing came up really good. And I'm excited to see Game 2 and what they can do. That damage,
That Rise flash, oh no, it didn't matter, but
this is painful to watch, bro.
Like that. Half the time we see them not use flash when they need to, and half the time they do. But nonetheless, this was a
hari ini ada Kaede versus itu loh, Kaede versus Genji. Tapi nanti jam 7. Jam 7 ada Kaede versus Genji, anjir. Tapi kayaknya kagak bisa nonton sih. Aku nonton tapi kayaknya nggak bisa live stream sih Genji Kaede ya.
And has everything he possibly could need to take that game. Of course, game number 1, all done and dusted. GAM lead the series 1-0. CFO are on the verge of having their second ever LCB.
CFO is going to lose, bro.
We'll see if GAM can get it done or can CFO strike back. We'll see you shortly.
Update Wild Trip ikut update juga kah? Iya, kayaknya nanti ada update Wild Trip juga. Tapi nggak tahu ya, Demacia atau bukan. Makan dulu, guys. Taki sih, Taki. Oh, bikin short. Ini Mas CFO kalau misalkan lawan apa? Deep Cross Gaming kayaknya dibantai deh. Deep Cross Gaming kemarin mainnya GG banget. Posisi kalah jauh banget, goldnya comeback anjir. Anjay dogo. Ray Farki. Lah itu ada Ray Farki, katanya pensi. shadow. Deep cross gaming kemarin ada yang ganteng banget tuh mid lane-nya. Guys, kalian kalau baru bangun tidur suara serak nggak? Tenggorokan gue sakit banget tiap bangun tidur sumpah dah. Ini nih ganteng anjir.
现在有在录吗？有啊。那你可以关掉吗？我要讲敏感话题啊。
Riot Games. Oh, cinematic. Aku belum nonton sinematiknya. (3D) nya makin realistik ya, ngeri banget. Whoosh. Is that Sivana? Sona. Oh iya, ada Sona tadi ya. Garen katanya naksirnya sama Katarina guys, real lah. Katarina tuh dari mana ya? Noxus gitu? Katarina Noxus? Oh my god, is that Sivana, bro? Waifunya Jarvan. Itu Queen ya? Nah ini Sona nih. Isn't Sona like deaf? Sona tuh tuli kan katanya. Or blind? Is she blind or deaf? No deme kocap. Nara. Mukanya Sona jujur agak aneh. Mungkin cuma perasaanku. Mungkin karena kebanyakan nonton anime kali ya, jadi lihat 3D agak aneh. Is that Z? Are we start?
Welcome back, everybody.
CFO pick blue side. Tapi mereka kelihatannya ceria tuh, nggak down. Come on, CFO. Ya, Shadow, lu gak usah main Jace dah. Main si hijau aja nih Dali.
It's a best of 3 series here.
Tapi latihan sih tadi sih, makanya dia maksain pakai Jace ya.
Champion plays that we saw, J4, he's
Gak
out
usah
of
dah.
here. Maybe we get the Nocturne back in. I think it's going to be permabanned, but who knows? Me personally, I want to see that Malphite make it through because the gameplay is ridiculous. It hurts my soul, but it's always so fun to watch an unstoppable force destroy an 80 carry in one shot. So let's see what happens as, yes, CFO blue side. What do you think that tells us?
No, I mean, they probably just have blue side first pick as well. So they clearly have a champion they really want to pick up, or whatever it may be. A priority pick, if you will. But we'll see sort of how that develops at the moment. Just going through the ban phases, things have remained the same as last game. Nothing changing just yet. We'll see if there are any developments with what has been taken away. Obviously, the Jace being removes one of those champs that quite often does receive bans.
Akali ban, Poppy ban. Oriana ban.
Oriana, Akali, Poppy, pretty stable. There's the Ezreal once again, making their way through. It's all those
So kalau gak ada Poppy bisa main Nidali tuh, si Shadow.
No Nocturne.
Always comes to note. No Nocturne, okay. Ooh.
Shadow, you can play Nidali now.
But that's okay, because we've still got some other fantastic champions, about
Mapat di ban.
170 plus of them.
And only 10 bans in my ranked games, huh? Anyway, now, one last ban to come through. I mean, do you look at something like the Mundo, which is obviously
itu agen plannya nyusahin banget buat dibaca, Jir. Support ya. Tadi juga casternya ribut gara-gara nyebutin nama supportnya susah.
And now it is going to be CFO, of course, on getting that first pick.
Double 274 gak sih? Double 274. Oh, enggak 74. 2020.
I think more recently it has become more of a jungler typically than a top laner, but still perfectly capable to play top.
Yeah, I'd like to see Rest, I guess, well known for his sort of like tankier champions. His Kasante obviously didn't have the performance we were hoping to see in that last game, but obviously still very strong overall. But Mbessa being one of those hyper carry champions that can just take over a game if given the opportunity.
Oh, Res Ambessanya lumayan.
Just get them destroyed with that public execution. But Wukong being picked up, a fantastic disruptor and an excellent jungler in the meta right now. But with a Corki paired, spells a lot of damage.
Ayo, main apa jungle-nya? No Wukong. Xin Zhao is free. Sion jungle. Oh, Ambessa jungle kah? Ambessa jungle top lane Sion. Malas banget aku lihat Azir, tapi playernya bukan Korea tuh. Bukan LCK maksudnya.
Is gone, which we saw Dyer use to great effect up against Jimmian in our first series of yesterday.
But we'll see. Maybe this Azir will work.
Pick. I love the choice of Azir here. Late game is definitely strong. Ahri locking in such great poke.
Mampus, ada Ahri. Kopinya di ban.
That's going to have so much drama almost added to it. They will be walking around and they will be putting the hurt onto Shadow once again if this Mbessa doesn't get the lead that they need early on.
No, Shadow main Mbessa sih kayaknya ini.
Yeah, just strong skirmishing comp coming through so far here on the side of GAM, and I mean it is
Atau Dogo mau main Sena Sion.
So finding those 2v2s, 3v3s will benefit GAM, but when we get to the team fights, having that bulky front line in the Sion, the Azir, able to stand and deliver from the back lines as long as he's safe from what most likely will be the Wukong Ahri. So a lot of play around for both teams, and it's going to take some quite good execution, imagining the game is somewhat even, and I think it should be. I think the game coming out early game should be pretty even here. There's nothing that screams massive advantage to me necessarily. Obviously 2 more picks to come through, but still.
but it's all supports being focused here. Rakan, Leona, Alistair as well. We'll see if that fourth one does decide to get taken off. It's surprising that it is still very much these engaged supports that we're seeing, when even the meta right now tells us that enchanters are quite strong. But I guess in the team comp where you have everyone in the same comps, it's a different story. And Gwen being the final champion banned over for CFO. We'll have to see what these 80 carries are going to turn into. We see one Corki, but what do you put up against it? The Gnar in the top into the Scion could work wonders.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, simplifying the game is typically what engaged supports are good at.
Rek'Sai Scion normal itu mah.
Up that top lane into the Scion, so it's a good
Rek'Sai Scion is a normal matchup.
It's
usually like that.
But as I was saying, the engaged supports to simplify the game, right? You need someone that can engage. Obviously, Wukong can, but something that follows up with it. Well, an engaged support can do that perfectly well. Much the same
berarti
here
jungle
for
Ambessa, Scion top.
Nico. So Nico, Kai'Sa, it's a champion, or appearing, I should say, that we've seen a lot of in 2025, and it will carry on here. Taki, maybe with the Bard response. We've seen his Bard a few times, kind of hit or miss. Sometimes he's 10-0, sometimes he's 0-10. And unfortunately against Doggo last time, it was a 0-10. So really looking to make up for that performance possibly. Okay, so more pressure Nami's going to offer in that lane, but a little bit more vulnerable. I mean, if you get hit by an Ambessa ult, you're probably dead on the Nami, whereas Bard can somewhat survive just by virtue of what he builds as items. Nonetheless, it is a lot more pressure in that bot lane. A lot of damage going to come out of that Corki with the Tidecaller's Blessing. And also the range there to be able to work around, to be able to trade with Kai'Sa effectively. So a lot of pressure on 2274 to alleviate that sort of controlling of the bot lane.
Yeah, but it's all about that strong engage too. If 227 gets a really good Pop Blossom to start off a fight, you just get an Emperor's Divide off the back of that. Kai'Sa's going to be there blasting out the damage, and Bessa. There's a lot of combos that can be played for the side of CFO where they can start a fight or disengage as well. So I am sort of favoring their team comp right now, though I'm not going to say the Corki's out of this race. It does punch out a lot of damage. Those rockets will get it done, but I feel like the Rek'Sai, yes, good into the Scion, might not get the agency they might be looking for in a bit of a more of a front-to-back comp.
Taki MOBA katanya.
Absolutely. Fan signs that I unfortunately am not able to read.
Maybe one day. Fanboy katanya.
Maybe one day.
What do you think it says?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't even know what team it was about, but I imagine it was about CFO, being that it was in Mandarin. But who knows? Who knows? It could have even been about Ground Zero for all I know. Nonetheless,
could have been.
CFO here. Pangyon, honestly, with his, debut in the LCP, had a good game for himself on the Talia ultimately, but pressure around the map, very difficult. This time, game a little bit more in his hands on this Azir. Certainly more of a threat as this game goes further and further in with the damage that this champ can
do. Ya, sekarang mah skinnya ditunjukin.
On the Ari, a lot of playmaking potential on that champion.
Dogo main pakai skinnya si Jackie Love dah. Damn.
What would you say is probably like the go-to? What do these either side? Let's start with CFO. What do they really need to accomplish in the early game to get this game in their favor? Is they going to be looking more towards bot side? Are they looking more towards getting Sign ahead? Like, walk me through what you think the pros and cons are for these team comps.
I think ultimately you kind of need to play around the bot side. Top has a good matchup for the side of GAM, so you're not really wanting to put a lot of pressure around there. And you just need to simplify things. You've got a really good scaling composition. Kai'Sa's going to do a boatload of damage as this game progresses. Also plays really well against champions like the Rek'Sai, and much the same for the Azir. So really stabilizing the game early, not making it too volatile, which GAM tend to succeed at doing. Yeah, a lot of damage, but it shouldn't result in too much. And GAM wisely backing off, being that they don't have the lethal tempo. But as I was saying, on the side of GAM, they want to wait for this Ari to get 6 and make things volatile, and CFO really just don't need to do that. They just need to get to the stage, even footing, go to these team fights, and they do have a stronger team fighting composition as 2274 getting very aggressive.
Oh, I love it. Burning the flash out early is so nice, but double flash, so no sums available for 2274, but still the same for Artemis as well. I'd rather have no sums on a support than on an AD carry, so...
No.
Oh no, devastation, Shadow.
Oh, that actually slows down his clear a substantial amount, because he not only does he miss that Q, but he also doesn't get the second usage of Q, which, might be nitpicking or whatever, but it is really important. Both junglers are headed the same side of the map to get that clear done quicker, because
kalau profesional mah ribet ya. Miss Q2 aja jadi masalah gara-gara rotasinya telat berapa detik doang.
But certainly in these jungle skirmishes with the bot lane priority in their favor.
Sangat penting.
Yeah, both. I do see both Wukong and Mbessa quite heavily reliant, mostly to say on their ultimates. I think the public execution and the Cyclone do really define their kits in a lot of skirmishes. But early on, I don't think that's why we're going to see too many hard invades, not like what we saw with J4 in that first game. So I think Wukong's just going to be saying, all right, let's just play for our objectives, let's play for our advantages and see what's going to happen. But Shadow and 2274, looking up topside, there could be a skirmish. I could just be wrong. They could just be looking to fight right here, right now. And Shadow's a little bit worried. Drekthar is getting a look at the double buffs on both sides. 274 can't get. Shadow has to burn the flash to get out. Just too much damage from the monkey. But the contest is still here. 2274's walking up. Look at Artemis down bot side.
Hangyan's first in the fight here between the mid laners, but Drekthar's going to go on him.
Like they are looking attacking too. Good damage coming out, but they're looking very low.
Kok suaranya aneh ya? Aku doang atau emang stream ya guys?
2274, very low as well. One more just into the electrocuted prop.
Kalah aja. Suaranya kenapa kayak gitu guys? What the hell?
Kill is too much. Eris could want a little bit more. And Doggo
bukan aku doang tuh, penonton lain juga suaranya rusak katanya.
What is going on, man?
Audionya hancur anjir.
What is going on, man? Skull Crab spawns and Calamity.
Kita pindah ke Jepang lah. So what the fuck is this audio? Rusak audionya kocak.
そこはかなったもののこの後どうなるか。
ここは本当に滝がコントロールのプレッシャーをうまく使いながらジャングラーをサポートして有利な状況を作ったと。この後のところでしたね。アルテミスとしてはどこか近寄らせたくなかった。これ W を使ったのもどっか確認していて。
このドラクサーすごかったですね。突っ込んできましたよ。
そうですね。本当に。
ここでフラッシュで奥になってましたからね。
ここからどことアルテミスのワンモンがなるほどこの流れで。
Tapi Dogo tadi dapat kill gak? Mati, ngeples. Dapat lah itu harusnya. Nice.
これ最後のオートアタック一発。
はい、なかったら届いてないですよ。
はい。ここはシャドウよく抑えましたね。
はい。
Dogo is doing good as usual.
得たものもあれば失ったものもある。苦しくなったのはガムのボット。
ただミッドはこれどうしようも。
いやー、まあ、そもそも序盤強くないアジールに対して序中盤強いアーリがスノーボールした。
加えてイグナイトも持っているという状況です。
しかも両馬です今。ただどこ強いか。
Oh, ada shield. Gas. Satu lagi. Dus. Nice.
2v2 で勝っていく CFO。
Awas, Wukong. Wukong. Harusnya nggak bisa sih. Nami bukan burst.
ちょっとこれは攻撃のためにミニオンを守る動きですかね。
いやこれはアルテミス苦しいですね。
かなり苦しいですね。
苦しいですね。
ちょっとひっくり返りそうにないですからね。
ロールクエストの達成のところも相まってドッグガンスノーボールがかなり進みそうです。
苦しいですね。
さあアーリのアレスのアクションが
なるほど W が地形に引っかかってしまった。
なるほど、それで距離を取ることができなかったんですね。
あとはただこの状況でミニオンウェーブを倒しに押し込んだ状況の中でハラスないしはそのタワープレートを取るための動きをしたのが
強くすぎた。
ちょっとそう見えましたね。
なんか押し込んだら引いてもいいような状況でしたからね。
ジャングラーの介入はまだやっぱそこまで強い状況ではないですから、ウーコンがレベル6になるまでは強気なプレーをしなくてもいいのかなというのがありますが、ただガムですからね。
ミニオンの経験値をもらってドラクサーレベル6になりましたが、シャドウもレベル6、上からキアヤがシャドウに見つけた。
Nonton Apel juga kan ya nanti? Apel hari ini itu ya JDG lawan ini ya?
おっと公開処刑がシャドウ当たらなかった。
kayaknya nonton LCP doang aku hari ini.
ズレが
Ada kerjaan. Paling nanti nonton Lost Ratons jam 11 malam ya. Aku tetap nonton tapi kayaknya nggak live sih.
ダイブの状況、アルテミス耐えている、耐えている、そして 1v1 返り討ちドッグを倒した。
Kenapa dia ada di situ anjay?
いやてかこれは まあウーコンもいない
What is Dogo doing?
ミッドからボットにかけてのところの視界状況の勝負で見えていたので、まあチャンスと見て
minus 100 aura
というところ、
求められる仕事を実行しようとしたんですが、
多分求められていること以上の仕事をしようとしましたね。
なるほど。だからその結果デッドになってし
over
まった。
commit kocak.
まあただボトムサー自体は、まあ、そこまでつまらない。
Belum. Tapi damage-nya cukup sih, harusnya cuma nice nice job sih Artemis. Iya. Agak bisa sebenarnya, cuma Artemisnya punya flash. Harusnya kalau punya harusnya dia tahu dong harusnya itu punya flash ya.
そうですね。どちらを狙ったとしても出なかった可能性ありますから。
さて、まあまずはしっかりとボット側のファイヤードの確保しながら。
これは水野君決まったぞ。前ブリンから旋風演武シャドウが捕まった。アルテミスのキルになる。さらにもう一度旋風演武。ただ2274はこれに引っかかることなく引くことができている。ボットサイドアクション成功はガム。
まあこれだけのボットの状況でもある、ボットのコントロール取れる状況もあるので、そのアイランドブッシュに対して、まあ、カバーしなくても取れるだろうという C4 の判断だったんですけど、
滝がよく見ていましたね。
そうですね。
これでドラゴンの獲得にガム e スポーツがつながりそうです。復活したシャドウはボイドグラムの方へと歩みを進めている。ただもうドラゴンを取り終わるぞ。この後ドラクサーがどうするか。
いや、これ
リコールです。
タワープレート取らせるための動きですね、あまり。
ボットレーンに
これ
体寄せてましたね。
上側見るんじゃなくて、なるほど、ボイドグラブ渡してもいいので後期復活させたい。
Aslinya kapan jadwalnya bang?
なるほど。
Hari ini nanti jam 3 ada bro main. Jam 7 nanti ada janji lawan Kaede tuh, seru tuh. Kalau mau nonton yang seru. Nanti jam 7. Kaede lawan janji. Rematch.
そのようですね。
さあ3つを C4 が抑えました。
ただガムとしてはやはりある程度攻撃に育ってもらって、ドッグとの 1v1 のところでプレッシャーかけられないようにしたいと。
ゴールドはイーブンにしましたね。
そうですね。これはかなり大きいと思います。
そしてミッドレーンは1000ゴールドよりトッピーのアレス。こ
こは、まあ、全体としてももう一度ここボットに対してここは、ウェーブを押し込められて反転ウェーブで押し込むタイミングの時にウーコンがボットのタワーダイブ狙えるような状況を作れそうですから、
イグナイトを持っているのでどんどん生かしていきたいタイミング。227に対してここでチャームを放っていく。完璧だアレス。まあ早速なんかイグナイトやっぱ有効活用したいよねっていう話をしようとしたらしてくれましたね。
いやしかもこれニーコとしては、ミッドからボットにかけてのワーディングをすることによって相手のダイブルートを確認しておきたかったんですけど、
先ほど言ったドラクさんの動きがあるのでと。
そうですね。まあただ、まあ、アーリーがリソース使ってくれましたから。
そうですね。アルティメットはクールダウンになりました。
はい。
tapi ya no ult ya. No ini.
ただやっぱそれでも
Ahri no ult。
ガム側としては押し込めますよね。今までのレーニングと打ってかばって。
はい。本当に最初の展開からすると全く逆になりましたね。ミッドレーンからのプレッシャーがかなり高い。
そして C4 の
ternyata tidak bisa kalau cuma Dogo guys. We need Junji and Hongkyu。
これでドッグと274としてもライン上げられますね。
シャドウとその警戒しながらのジャングルファーム。トップのキアヤ VS レストのところでは CS よりはやはりキアヤが作っている。おお、入り込んでいってのチャゲ。
まあこのマッチアップは、サヨン側が Q 触れないですからね。
止められちゃいますからね。
はい。
おっと、ちょっと狙っている。ダメージ足りるか。
Oh, nggak ketahuan, nggak ketahuan, nggak ketahuan, nggak ketahuan. Ultinya nyampe nggak sih? Fast clear.
ロールクエスト達成。
Nggak kelihatan. Ice mundur dia, susah.
カバーはガムサイドはありません。
これカウンター狙いでしたね、今の。
ああ、なるほど、来るんじゃないかと。
はい、バナナブッシュのコントロールワードをウーコンが破壊しましたから、まあ、そのまま上側のガンク狙ってくるんじゃないかという予測を立てていたようですね。
ただ、その予測が外れて、その間にドラクサの方が時間の有効
Halo streamer besar.
ここで見せる
Besar.
そうですね、なんか隠れててもいいような感じがしましたけど。
Besar apanya?
ミッドのラインといったところは維持したいという動きでしたが、2個まで介入させてミッドプッシュしましたが、
滝と合流視界を広げてホットサイドに大きく
Kenapa? No flash.
さあアルティメ
Ulti
ット
Shadow
をフラッシュでケアや
Nah,
これは避けて
iya
おー回避で
anjir.
ステップで避けた。ただそこで破滅ののいやこれもアルティメットで回避。
Kasih
素晴らしい動
Dogo.
き
Nice.
ケアや行ってはいましたが、3人目の資格ドッコの前に倒されました。
それはさすがにどうしようもない
Ya,
ですね。
setidaknya Dogo
Cukup
dapat
kata rasanya.
dapat
本
gol.
当にうまかったんですけ
Nice.
れど、
ただ C4 としてはそのミッドのプッシュの主導権からトップに対してのアクション、さらにカウンタージャングル
Artemis sudah kelar
どこにボールを
lane
入れる
quest-nya.
といったところでかなりリターンが大きいアクションになりましたね。
さあそしてボットレーンに残っていた2人、アルテミスとタキはロールクエストを達成しました。
ただこれタワーのファーストブラッドは
どっちもねレストが
はいやレス
強引にタワー下に入りに行くところ、水の
Damage-nya
ロー
masih
ブ
belum
が
cukup
フラッシ
sih
ュで避けてタワー下に入り込んだ。これで守れまし
Dogo
た。
pandai KS
ただちょっと時間がかかりそうですね。
worth it sih. Kalau kasih Dogo worth it
ただ
sejujurnya.
さすがに
Soalnya di sini yang bisa carry dia doang
な
sumpah.
るとはいえまだ2段階目なので、
相当ここから
Dari tadi yang bisa carry Dogo doang
まだ
sumpah.
CG は続行
Worth it
気合は
kasih Dogo semua
戻ってきま
pokoknya.
したよ。
これウーコンが見えてない時間が長いことも考えると C4 としてはリスクを承知で今タワーを叩いている状況ですね。
Kasih shadow boleh sih.
カバーのみですがどうだ。
アンベーサ
ケアタイムハンダルも使ってウェーブクリアができた。守れました。
No flash.
でいく
Au.
それは
ノックアップが入った。ポップブラスターのカバーを使ってどこを助けようとはしている。キラーボイドも使った。アルティメットがないのでケアこれ以上追うことができないか。水の動く滝狙ったが
どこ
カウンターで
マイン
227を仕掛けていったフラッシュインの絡まれ、そこにシャドウが合わせてタワーした。キアヤは生き延びましたが1キル返していったシーフを、
Push
そしてタワー
tower
も狙えそうだ。
nice.
あれドラッグスはここカバー入ってない。
普通に下に行ってました。なんか上はいいんだなと思いながらちょっと見てたんですけど、
Nice Dogo.
今の波のアルティメットの力から見て、あこれはウーコンカバー入ってるんだなと勝手に思いながら
Akankah Dogo dan 4 batang kayu ini ntar tadi aja 1 versus 9 sih
リコー
Dogo.
ルした後迷
メッツァ
わずに下側行ってましたね。
Match 1 dia doang yang goldnya ahead.
まあ揺さぶりですかね。
Agak berat sih ya.
定石とはまた違う動きをす
Gam
るよ
apa
うな
ya?
感じでしたね。
はい
Rosternya
結果
udah
ドラゴンは取れたんですけれど、ファーストタワー
sinerginya udah dapet Gama.
かなりどこに入ったか。
Soalnya
Betul,
nggak banyak yang ganti kan
ボイドウェル3
doang
体取っていたアドバンテージもうまく活かせましたし、
sama jungle-nya.
ケア頑張りましたよ本当に。
おっとただ
ミッドの横っちょでシャドウはどうだ。前ブリッ
Ayo
クから
Shadow mati.
高級のキルになっている。ちょっと
おいおい
リプレイも気になるがリアルタイムもめちゃくちゃ気になる
Real
展開
time, real
だ。
time, real time. Hey,
まあ
hey,
ここの
hey.
ところで
アドミン
ウーコンまだかなーって
リアル
待っていたら
タ
全く来なくて、あれあれあれと思っていたら、
確かにドロップカット
はい
Hey, boy.
なぜかシャドウの方が先に来ましたからね。
はい
ここはちょっ
Man,
と、まあ、ガムとしては
man.
このアクションするんだったらもっと弱気でいいなっていう
そうでしたね。なんか守るだけの動きでよかったですね。
ただその後のところで C4 が気になるのがボットサイドのところでキャッチされてるんですよ、ジャングラーが。それがかなり気になります。通常であれば今のアク
Iya,
ション
ketangkap
それ
di
前まで
kemana
の
itu
上
Shadow?
側トップ側を C4 が支配して、
はい
ガムがボット側を支配しているようなそのマップトレードをしていたんですけど、そこを気にせずにシャドウがボット側入っていって、まあ、ガムからすると自分のエリアに相手が入ってきたのでキャッチ成功させているという流れになっているのが、
Si
Itu si
kocak
Hook,
tadi
dosa
jungle
kalau
keciduk di mana
Tidak,
anjir?
これアレスにまたキル入りましたよ。どんどんスノーボールしてますよこのアリが。
ちょっとさすがにそう、ね、ミッドのパワーがトップやボトルと比べると、まあ、スノーボール精度がちょっと下がってるとはいえ、
はい。
これだけねキル集まってれば、
はい、もう1500ゴールド有利でアルティメット今また上がりましたからね。またアクション狙える。
いやいやいや、
Kena.
なるほど
チャームで
Oh, si supportnya lagi face
あ
check.
これシャドウの
Udah pinter sih.
これ最後後期が取ったように見えましたが、イグナイトで
さらにはチャームで、
最後当たりましたか。
Susah ya, tapi emang kerjanya support face check sih. Tapi kalau ini gamnya pinter sih, nyiduk-nyiduknya.
さあ開始の前から滝が2狙っていく。
アルテミス強気すぎるか。
Mati lagi
避けた
shotnya.
公開処刑も当たってない。ステップがめちゃくちゃいいぞ。ガム e スポーツダブルキル獲得アルテミス。
リスクガン無視
前ブリンクいや
おかげで
ー、はい、
ミッドのタワーが取れます。
めちゃくちゃ大きなアクションになりました。
なりましたね。
一 気に2キル、そしてミッドナウタータワーも取れました。リフトヘラルドは持ち帰りましたが CFO これは手痛い。
Dia kena bubble, kena ulti,
いやだってカイサ近くにいますから、
terus
これ
diserang
打ち上がった
sama
ら終わりなんで
Artemis.
すよ。
Set, ultinya gak nyala.
その後もかわしました。
避ければいい。
Kaya.
ければいいんですよ
相手のスキルが発生する前に倒せばいいん
Terus
です。
itu,
おーっとっと
what is Azir doing?
あれ227が倒されてる。
Iya, CFO rosternya ganti semua. 3 orang ganti. Ya wajar sih kacau ini.
まあまあまあ引いていけばいいでしょうという。
まあガム側がちょっとオーバーターン気味にミッドのプッシュをしたことに対してシーホーガとしてはこう目を食らったっていうことですかね。リコールフェイクでもかけていたのかな。
なんか一撃なんか一人でやられているような。
Kan masih awal season sih. Mungkin nanti apa mid season bakal dapat sinerginya kali ya. Ini supportnya banyak evaluasi sih supportnya sih. Kebanyakan inting ya. Banyak evaluasi nih supportnya, mati mulu.
忙しいリプレイでしたね。
そうですね。
リプレイ流してたら何かが起こるからっていうので。
Kalau mau face check kayaknya kalau pas mau war besar aja gitu. Sama kalau misalkan di map gak kelihatan musuh sama sekali kayaknya jangan face check sama sekali deh.
ドラゴンのスタックは2スタック、50秒
Kalau belum ada objektif mah. Dia dari tadi soalnya face check, belum ada objektif dia face check. Di mapnya musuhnya kagak kelihatan dia face check. Keciduk mati lagi.
確かにボットサイドで有利を握ったんですけど握り返された、取られている。
ちゃんとしたリプレイが。やっぱリコールフェイクだったんですかね。
でドッコは上に逃れたんですけど、
代わりに2274が犠牲になった。
これはいいトラップだった。おーっとやっぱりリコールを流す何かがある。ケアが狙われている。さあボイドラッシュからただ生き残ることはできません。
ただこれはもうマップの3分の2を捨てたプレイですからね。
そうですね。実際ここのアクションが取ることができる。
Mati lagi kan?
ブロッサム
Mati
ですが
lagi
ダ
nih
メージ
kok
耐えら
gua.
れない。さらに旋風部マリですがどこに出してフラッシュイン。いやアウトしたんですがそこにしっかりとフラッシュインでドラクサーが合わせる。タワーはどうだ。
Mati lagi support gua cu. Will tank aja gak sih?
レストがなんとかこのタワーを守りに行く。プンヨンのこのタワーシールの時間を稼ぎたい。
Let's go
さあ
Azir.
インナータワートップサイドを割ることができた。ただアレスも同じようなアクションを行えている。プラスでガムはドラゴンも手をつけるぞ。
And they
プ
get
ロジェクト
dragon.
のトレートではやはりガムの方が上手。
もうこうなるとさすがにアジールにかなりリソース
シネルギーmin nol.
の後半のスケールといったところに意識を割いていると。
Tidak ada sinergi sama sekali, saudara-saudara.
渡したかったかもしれませんね、このキルは。
そうですね。ケアとしては、レクサイ性能を生かすというところでかなり積極的なトレードをして相手を釣って逃げ切りたいというところだったんですけど、ここは、レストの、アルティメットの精度が高かったですね。よく当てましたね。当たってなければかなりの時間をケアとしては稼げていたので。
itu susah sih, kena bab.
単純にもダメージが。
そうですね。
あっという間でしたね。
Aish. Ini sangat menyakitkan. Nggak bisa sih, supportnya mati lagi pas kita face check. Mati lagi nih.
アレスの育ち具合がちょっととんでもないですから。
1600ゴールド有利です。レベル差こそついていませんか。
全体としてガム側が上回ってますからね。そして1個はコレクター。
しかもレベル差できてますよ。
本当ですね。1レベル差。これだけねちょっと6個のファームを犠牲にする形のアクションが多かったですから。
そうですね。そしてやはり2274もデッドもういうこともあってレベルが遅れていて、2個でより柔らかいですね。オープンパイシの場合。
Shit. Oke. Nami no ult. Guys.
ただもう自分たちのエリアに入るんじゃねえみたいなプレッシャーをかけてますね。
Nami no ult.
実際何か引っかかったら合わせられますし、それで取れるんでしょうね。
Shadow.
C4 からするとトップのウェブプッシュしきれてるので、ちょっと想定外の。
Gak bisa Game mundur cok.
よくかわしましたね。
さあドラゴンソウルのかかったドラゴンまではまだ3分ある。バロンはアップした。
またしてもオーシャンではありますが、
Ocean Soul.
ただガムとしてはかなり上側の
Nami dikasih Ocean Soul sih kacau ya.
意識を割いてますね。
アレスリッチベインにしましたね。
まあ、アルティメットで3発分。
ジャングルディフ超。
TPS が高いですね。
そうですね。まあ、あとはタワーシェージの能力も上がりますね。
Mana nih LPL champion gua?
アジーロ相手にしてもタワーシェージの能力
Begini mainnya.
張り合えてましたからね。
さあトップのプレートゴールドも取りながら。
Bang Shadow, kamu one trick nih Dali kah?
アウターターンですからね。なんか魅力的に見えますよね。エフェクトも綺麗だし、いい音鳴るし、
そうなんですよね。
音がいいんですよ。だから叩きたくなるんですよね。
あとは若干その4分たまれば
はい。
判定がでかくなってちょっと遠くからも上がれるじゃないですか。
はい。
叩きやすそうに見えるんですよね。
ただ、さすがにアウタータワー無理する価値はちょっとまあないっていう
ないですね。
ことですよね。
なんとか C4 としてはゲームのテンポを
I
落
don't
として
see we can win this shit, bro.
ただ、
お
オーシャンソウルが待ってますからね、この後。
どこダスク&ドンできるのか。できないと弱いぞ。
できるのか。
できないと弱いですよ。
黄昏高槻。
パッシブがねめちゃくちゃ強力なんで、
はい、このビルドがありますよね、返すと。
その
Gerakan Slayer sama
2回
Rage
入るので、シーンの効果プラスパッシブが2回入るということで、相当ねこういうオンヒットアタック系のチ
Atau
ャンピオン
Warto.
からするとシナジーがあると。
でも黄昏高槻安いアイテムじゃないですよね、確か。
そうですね。
3200でしたっ
Ah,
しかもこ
clone.
こから AP 伸びないんですよ。完成するまで。
Eh,
ブラスティングはね
Alah si
AP の
Shadow.
上昇効果しかないんで、
け。結構苦しいですね。
はい
Cuk, ulti gak pernah kena anjing. Shadow,
残
kocak.
り1分です。
間に合うのか。
キャッチのキルもできていない。ファームをまだどこを待っているようには見える。
Ulti gak pernah kena si
25分からマ
kocak.
イウェーブ CG ミニオンが出るので、
はい。
そこで時間稼げればこのリコールでできる。
のか。ドラム。
まあでも380ゴールド差ですし、
No flash loh itu Nami tadi. Ah iya.
ゴールして
できましたね。
できましたね。
これで戦えますね。
さあ、まあオーシャンソウルが狙えるドラゴンだというところもあって、まあ、ガムもそこを見てるとは思うんですが、やはりゆっくりした分だけ CFO も準備ができた。
そうですね。ただ全体としてガム側としてはドラゴンサイドだけの視界だけじゃなくて、
チャンプ当てる。お、タワーが割れた。そのままレストに仕掛ける。アルティメットは切らない。それに対してレストアルティメット切るしかなかった。さあミッドのインナータワーが割れた後、CFO も下側からぐるっと回り込んでポジション取りを行っているが、
別にガムとしてはドラゴンを渡せますからね。
そうですね。ファイトで勝てばいい。
レクサイがバック TP
シレリアを発動させて
バナナブッシュ
ながら、
の視界を、
おお、テレポートでやってくる。これはレストになるか。
いやこれレストは
大きなシールドがついている。
Please,
さあ後ろからケアが入り込んでいく。旋風ムに対してポストロスム、
Fight it,
コーテルブースターを使ってプンヨをうまくポジションを作ったが、チャームが相手を捉えていた。
Udah gua mati
それによってドッコデ
Udah
ッ
gua
ド。
mati, cowok. Wah.
そしてボイドラシからケアをしっかりと相手のバックライン狙っている。残ったシャドウも追い詰めていく。飛びついていくのアリス。チャームはかわしたがしっかり倒してダブルキル。この集団戦勝っていくのはガムイスポーツ。
Anjir.
いやもう C4 としては全くラインを維持できないですし、想定外のポイントか
Itu
ら
Azir
キアに
ulti
入られ
apa
てしまっ
cok?
て、
Replay coba. What
キャリア
happened
イ
to
ン
ult
誰の
Azir?
ダメージを出せばいいのか全くわからない状況になってしまいましたね。
プンヨンが一応リセットしたんですが、そのタイミングではもう遅かったですね。
遅かったですね。
Azir.
前目にまあちょっと行くしかないという状況を作られただけでガム側が先頭勝ってしまった。
バナナブッシュのポジションにレストがテレポートしたんですけど、やっぱアルティメット使わされているのもあって、
はい、
あそこからラインを維持できなかったですし、
そうですね。あまりこう影響力出せなかったですね。
ここです
Sini ya.
ね。これですぐさま明け渡され
Oke. Aha, di cancel ulti Niko-nya.
ニーコのウルトが完全に
Kena Kiaya doang. Anjir, what the fuck?
バップにしっかりターン合わせて。
アレスが前に出て、冬自体ある程度のダメージは出せてはいると思うんですけど、もっとフリーで殴れないとダメージが足らない状況でしたからね。
Ha.
どこも結構そのノックアップからチャームというところでほとんど前半戦は殴れたんですけど、やっぱり途中止められてしまって2000ダメージ。
いやあの状況からでもよく出したダメージだとは思いますけどね。
はい、
Oh, tapi damage-nya lumayan loh,
分
gitu-gitu.
かるスタッツですよね。
そうですね。
Dari soldier, send soldier nih.
このインナータワーも破壊してどんどんレーンに押し込んでいくのはガム。
Biasanya ulti Azir tuh berimpact banget gitu buat impact gitu. Ini aduh.
いや こからはマイウェーブ
sedih
が
sih.
出てるような状況ですから。
ラバドンデスキャップできてますけど、アレス
ボイドの素材もできている。ダークシールも10スタック。
いやー、順調というか3000ゴールド差なんですね、ミッドレーン。とんでもない。
なんとかファーマーはできてるので、レベル差は1レベル差で済んでますけど、
はい。
ちょっと、プンヨンとしては、
No,
ほろ
this
苦いデ
is
ビューに
painful.
なってしまいそうですね。
そうですね。
いや、これもミニオンのダメージだけでボットのタワーの体力半分持ってかれてますけどね、これ。
いや、強いですね。さあ、バロンバフの時間をゆっくり使ってプッシュしていく。
オッケー
ポップ
スポット
ブロッサム、
オッケー
崩壊処刑までつなげることができたが、どうだ、後ろに狙っていったんですが、ダメ足りないか、ドッコ倒されてしまった。それでもドラクサーを
Okay, they
シ
just
ャドウとレストで挟み
they
込ん
just do
で、
it, I guess.
ガーディアンエンジェル、さらには太陽の円盤を立てて、これは逃すまいと仕掛けていく。2274の懸命なエンゲージから犠牲は出したものの22トレード。ただそれではバロンバフを使ったトレードでオブジェクトが取れるのはガム。
Daripada tidak sama sekali, ini dia.
アルテミスまで懸命に
We
狙ったんです
just
けれ
we
ど
just
叶
do
わな
it,
かっ
I
た。
guess.
いや、これはまあウーコンの一つ良さが出ましたね。
Tapi Wukong sakit banget ya damage ya.
2個のエンゲージ自体そこに非常によくて、
どこlangsung mati loh.
どことしてもアルティメットで合わせることはできたんですけど、
Dogo tadi ngedash aja nggak bisa lah. Dapat lagi tuh. Dash. Nice.
これはやってしまった。
Oh, we can snowball from
ポジ
this.
ションになっちゃいましたね。
I think support is finally online.
と思ったんでしょうね。
ああ、なるほど。
ここで想定外だった展開だったと思います。
これはいいキャッチになりました。
そうですね。
これでなんとかバロンバフの時間を
I think my support is finally
バロンパワー
online.
プレイは1000ゴールド。ただインヒビター
Dogo
は壊れてしまった。
redemption. Enggak sih Dogo kayak nggak multi ke Wukong sih salah ya.
はい、どこがダメージを出せれば攻撃は間違いなく倒すことができていたんですけど、このウーコンのプレイによって、アルテミスはこれどこ
Tapi kalau nggak ada damage Dogo nggak
ま
mati.
しましたね。
やっぱウーコンって強いですね。
強いですね。その攻めでも強いですし、
Belum
守りという
dapat
ところ
ya
も強いですね。
sinerginya.
ノックアップは最強の CC ですからね。
Tapi si Shadow tumben kena ultinya tadi.
はい。ノックアップ後に発生するスタンとかはね、テナシティで低減できるんですけど。
さあ、改めてのオーシャンソウルを狙うドレイク、チャームをかわして。
What are you doing, Res?
フラッシュインからレスト強引に相手の陣形に割って入っていった。ただブリンクを使ってアルテミスのポジションチェンジはできるぞ。
Oke, mereka mengobrak-abrik posisinya. Buka map sih ya, Sionnya mantep
そう
aja.
ですね。これは、いやもうラッシュするしかないが。
Awas itu,
アレスのポジ
Res.
ションは分かった。
アルテミトを使って
いやなんか
入り込んでいった。
229のゾーンでミスった。
どうする？ニーナの時間を使ってしまった。ポップブロッサムがなんとかアレスを捉えている。キアを捉えていたが落としはどうだ？そこ間に合った。キラポイントからアルテミスに対してもフォーカス。ただ水の王国を振られてしまって距離を取るしかなかった。南からドラゴン前のポジションを取れているのは CFO。 ドラゴンラッシュできるかどうか。
Bisa cok.
アレスがもう一度入ってくる。チャームはプニョン反応しました。フラッシュアウト。レストが相手に対して壁となってがドラゴンが入り込んでいったがドラゴンには届かなかった。無理をしてしまった。ちょっとつもう一度上がったぞ。それがアルテミスに直撃だ。
Itu
タキも
dia.
逃げ遅れてしまった。そこに対してはシャドウが突っかかっていってドッコのオートアタックでこの集団戦 CFO が勝っていきます。
Res GG sih. Res GG sih BTS sih.
としてはやりす
Cok,
ぎ
Sion
て
GG
しま
sih.
った。
なんかオーシャンに固執しなくてもいいような状況でもありましたけどね。
まあ、あとは、まあ、アレスがバックに入っていく動きでちょっと有効活用できなかったですよね。
Sion level 19 nih bos.
アルティメット
Segol
で入ったんですけどその後どうしようみたいな。
anjing.
まあ、多分その
Anjir si Res ngamuk cok.
229の動きが分かっていれば
Dia sudah
そこまで焦らな
muak.
かったと思うんですけど、
はい
視界外でのミスだったので、まあ、そのミスをガムが把握していなくて
Nico Zonya, hah? Nico Zonya.
ラッシュ気味にバックに入っていく動きになってしまうと。ただ先ほど違うのはさらにはこう
Ini
キアヤが正面から入っていこうとしたの
Mana
で
Nico? Nico ke situ. Lah,
ここで
iya
入っ
ya.
たことになってたんですか。
Iya ya. Nico kenapa Zonya?
このところで
Bentar. Bentar,
そうですね、バ
bentar,
ック
bentar.
ラ
Huh?
インに対してドッコとプニョンに対して全くプレッシャーかけられなかったので、
No one gonna talk
そこで
about that?
仕切って
Hello?
C4 としては、まあ、うまく勝てたと。あとここ諦めてよく
No one gonna talk about Nico, guys?
取れたら
Hello?
大きかったですから、まあ、チャレンジしようと。バロンにもつながらないですし。
Good play from Res though. Holy shit,
仕掛けようかなというところだったんで
Res.
すけどちょっ とここ後期まで倒されてしまった
ニコ、
他のメンバーも倒されてしまった
no
っ
one
ていう
gonna
の
talk
は
about Nico
ちょっとガムと
Zonyas
しては
hello
想定外だったかなという感じしますね。
Oke, let's go. Akhirnya goldnya
ゴールド
close.
差もそこまで大きくはない2300ゴールド有利はガム e スポーツ
Res carry banget sih,
作れ
Res.
ましたね。
大きく掘られていた
Tapi Res gak bisa ladenin si itu kayaknya. Kayak Azir aja gak sih ladenin Rek'Sai. Ini Sion harus fight deh
やは
kayaknya.
りミッドとボットのスーパーミニオンガム
Value-nya lebih besar aja Sion daripada ayo no flash no ay gak kena. Oh
前
ya
目に
tiga
ポ
orang.
ジションになったところにポップブラスター、そして公開処刑ただガーディアンエンゼルはあるぞ。ドラクサーしかし囲まれてしまっている。逃げ場はないか。センベルもう一度連勝していますが、このキャッチ集団戦も CTBC フライングスターが成功している。ただこれはエンドを見るようなアクションか、キアやミニオンとの 1v1 ミニオンなんとか送り込んで、さらにここにアルテミスが合流してくる。バックドアだ。決められるのか。あとネクサスのみすぐさま味方が戻ってくる。CFO 懸命にネクサスを守るが気合が硬すぎた。バックドア成功。これにて決着。勝利したのはガム e スポーツ。
判断の切り替えが早い。そのレストのエンゲージ判断が非常に良くて、
はい、
そこに面を食らった形で分断されてキャッチされてというところから、ここはちょっとギブの判断じゃないかなと思ったんですが、その時点ですぐさまキアヤはもうバックドア狙ってましたね。
アルテミスもいましたね。
はい。
Bangke, kalahnya gini lagi
最
ya.
悪すれ違った後にすぐ
もう下側に切り替えてましたね。そして、アレスとしてもリコールを遅らせるため
Tadi
に
udah dapet loh sinerginya
プ
loh.
レッシャーかけていましたね。
Cok, itu sinerginya udah beuh.
両チーム大きく体勢が変わった中で、昨年はミッドシーズンのファイナルを戦った相手同士でもありましたが、ここ CTBC フライングオイスター昨年の覇者を倒していきましたガム e スポーツ。
やはり C4 としてはメンバーが大きく変わったというところもあるので、
Anjay, si Jujutsu Kaisen.
一方でガムとしてもね、外国レスラーの一人が変わってジャングラーが大きくキャラクターがタイプ違う、
apa Rafathar ya, dia Rafathar ya.
ゆっくりとゲーム作っていくタイプだったのに対して、ドラクターは積極的に動いていくというところで、チーム全体がそこの中にアジャストできる、さらにそこに滝が加わっているというのが
Artemis.
大きそうでしたね。
Uncle Roger ya Artemis. Weh, Artemis Taki.
揺れることになりそうですね、現地が。
もしかしたら昨年以上に
なんかしかも激しいガムタイムが訪れそうですね。
最後のはまさにガムタイムでしたからね。
いやー、このゴールド差だけ見るとね、ちょっと
pas late game udah dapat loh sinerginya
っていうところもありましたけど。
Bisa sih. Next match bisa sih CFO sih. Diimprovekan lagi anjay.
というところが非常に大きかったと思いますね。最終的にそこの駆け引きというところで、最後、4ドラ目のファイトのところで詰め切りはしなかったんですけど、常にプレッシャーを与えてましたし、ボットネのところね、スタートのところはうまくいかなかった中でも立て直して、プレッシャーを与えて、とにかくどこを止めて、
supportnya banyak evaluasi sih. Ini support kalau beberapa minggu ke depan masih kagak improve boleh diganti sih btw. Sekedar info saja. Support jadi support jadi kalau beberapa minggu ke depan masih kayak gini mainnya diganti boleh sih.
このシーンは本当に大きかったですね。
Abis ini masih ada Jepang versus itu kok. Atau kita nonton LPL dulu ya. LPL mana deh? Udah mulai belum?
ちょっとドラフトからそういう流れに見えますね。
LCK sama LPL belum mulai guys.
いや見事にこの LCP デビュー戦で取りましたね。
そうですね。
Kita bisa main satu game sambil menunggu next match.
ジャーバンのそのキアヤのそのワードレベルのセットもありつつ、そこを生かしたプレッシャーのかけ方、非常に良かったですね。
ここのところかなり積極的に戦っていく姿勢といったところも本当に1周目からこれだけ戦ってますからね。
あとこの後もアルティメットとかがあるわけじゃないの、これフラッシュインしてましたからね。
ここで一旦終わったのかなと思いきやでしたからね。
2274が減ってるなを見て、ここから行きますからね。
シャドウが
support CFO nicknya bikin ambigu disangka betor.
判断から
Better
みたいになってるので一気に仕掛けていくというところ。
Namanya kayak orang gacor kah?
これで
Dari tadi juga caster gak ada yang nyebutin nama dia tahu, saking susahnya. Apa coba 2022
そうですね。
apa 2022 double 2
抑えながら一方的にゲーム
78 apa sih namanya ribet betul.
ここはどこちょっと
74 double 2 74 2022 74 apalah anjir.
まだやっぱり新しく入ったシャドウ
What the heck is that name
うま
bro?
くシナジーが作り出せていないので、
なんかドラクサーの時は逆にその新しく入ったばっかりなんですけど伸び伸びやりすぎですね。
まあチームがそういう風にしてるんだと思いますけどね。
まあ多分その方がいいんだと思いますけどね、この勢いを見ると。
Ini tim pack ini udah oke banget loh.
そうなんですよね。
そこのラインのところ新加入の
Cuma aduh itu
なんかガムって
My support
ベトナム地域のチームなん
My
ですけ
support
ど、
kenapa
ベトナムっぽくない
Jonya ya
っ
tadi?
ていう特徴があったじゃないですか。
そうですね、こうかなり、ゲームコントロールを中心に、さらにトップキャリーみたいな。
なんかどっ
Nah
ち
ini
かというと
oke
それは
tuh yang ini nih flash ulti. Cuma Dogo ngulti ke
戻りました
Wukong.
ね。
そうですね。
ベトナムチームですね、これは。
Wukongnya double
めち
kill
ゃくちゃ
anjir.
戦うし、
はい。超攻撃
Wukong
的。
sakit banget deh
オブジェ
kayak.
クト判断、
What
ファイ
the
ト判断
hell?
も攻撃的。
はい。
What the hell?
ちょっとやりすぎちゃうのもなんかお茶目な感じが。
でもなんか
Why
勢
is
いで取り戻
Wukong
すから
very
そうなん
hurt
ですよ
lah?
ね。
あとはまあそのリアクションからの修正みたいなところも早いですよね。最後のバックドーンなんかのシーンもそうじゃないですか。
そうですね。あそこ
あのスピード感で決断下してない人間に合ってないですから。
そうですね。だから本当にあと少し CFO のリコールが早ければ終わってましたから。
Ini sampai next match aku bisa main
想定以上の出来の良さでしたね。
bisa push rank dulu satu match anjir.
強いですよね。
Push rank cuk satu match. Gas. Wukong udah snowball gak sih itu dikasih makan support CFO? Iya asli, dia mati mulu. Dia datang ulti mati, datang ulti mati anjir. Sekalinya punya zonyanya dipakai dulu. Zonya dulu masuk mati anjir. Zonya what the hell? What's wrong with bro? Pro player BTW anjir. Pro player BTW. What is happening? Dogo juga mungkin keseret sama timnya ya. Dia juga banyak misi tadi, ngedive tower terus mati, multi datengin Wukong. Well, tapi overall Dogo is still strong. ADC-nya masih kena gap itu sama si Dogo sebenarnya. Cuma support div sih. Well. Yaweh lah, yaweh. It's just happen, I guess. GAM e-sport. Bentar, reset season sekarang ya? Jarang main aku, belum master. Heimer Dinger. Waduh. Waduh tuh. Ngeri kali musuhnya. Set Kamil kayak oke nih. Santai jadi masuk LoL WR. Iya katanya. Nggak tahu kapan tuh. Tapi yang pasti sih itu sih champion baru itu sama siapa ya, Leblang. Bukan Leblang, apa namanya, Mel. Kamil kali ya. Yang Kamil lah.
Precision is the difference between a butcher and a surgeon.
It's time to play Camilo. Jadi rencananya Kamil jungle adalah set mengulti seseorang, kita ulti lagi biar gak gerak dia. Kok jadi wing rip? Lagi break. Ntar nunggu match 2. Next itu Japan versus ini apa nih? Taiwan ya. MVK. Anjir, Baron gue ngeri banget namanya. What the fuck, Muhammad Yesus. Lanjut LCK kah? LCK aku kayaknya nggak live ya. Ada kerjaan. Ntar mau mandi, balik gawe kayaknya. Malam paling aku live lagi ya, jam 11.
Results are all that matters.
Buzzer janji kagak live. Lah. Aduh, iya lagi aku udah janji mau jadi buzzer janji, kampret. Jam 7 ya. Kalau kerjaanku beres cepet mungkin bisa kali ya. Lihat nanti.
They pay me to find problems and then dispose of them. Waiting yields the most reward. I am employed when negotiations fail. Looks like I missed a spot.
Sekarang minimal HP apa buat kuat main wing rip? Poco F3.
Behave yourself. First blood. Fear sharpens every blade. Looks like I missed a spot.
GG kali ada sih gua. Baru nyadar mid set anjir. Tim aing.
Waiting yields the most reward. Order exists because of me. Waiting yields the most reward.
Tuh, Poco X6 lancar katanya. Kalau nggak ROG aja, ROG udah turun harganya sekarang guys. ROG 2 paling 3 jutaan dapat baru. Maksudnya yang mulus. ROG 2 turun harganya. Beli ROG 2 aja.
A sharp blade quickens the work. Waiting yields the most reward. Purity of form, purity of function. Ally slain.
Aduh, di shutdown.
Looks like I missed a spot. I'm coming to get you.
Nogeng ya guys, anjir.
They pay me to find problems and then dispose of them. A weapon's virtue is proven in combat. A sharp blade quickens the work.
Cepet kali udah dapat itu.
A sharp blade quickens the work.
Wah bangke, jungle ini baron gua monyong ditinggalin anjir. Skip sepatu.
Violence is a means to an end.
Kan ada flash ya? Gak bisa itu. Sayang flashnya.
I'm coming to get you.
Kirain mau bantu si baronnya.
I am employed when negotiations fail.
Nggak, kirain baronnya mau bantuin anjir. Salah, memang harus tidak percaya pada publik, cok. No geng ya, no geng ya. No geng sampai kiamat pokoknya.
Waiting yields the most reward. Looks like I missed a spot. Waiting yields the most reward.
Harusnya nggak ada ward sih.
I am employed when negotiations fail.
Mana DC gua lama banget woi. Taruh bentar. Mampus lu bangke. Lu kira lu doang yang bisa fight tanpa ini ha? Shield apa itu anjir? Wow.
Waiting yields the most reward. Order exists because of me.
Oh, GG katanya. Thank you. Gak, aku gak mau geng baron lagi. Aku sudah trust isu pada baronku. Aku merasa dikhianati. Aku trust isu.
Waiting yields the most reward. Violence is a means to an end.
Maaf baron, kita sudah gak friend lagi bung. Sorry aja ini mah. Ini masalah harga diri, cok. Enak aja. Ada wardnya.
Exists because of me.
Lah, lu di sini, cuy.
Sharp blade quickens the work. Purity of form.
Wah, sini anak anjing baron gua. Wah, tai. Udah emang gak usah ke baron lagi dah.
They pay me to find problems and then dispose of them.
Middle turret is under attack.
A sharp blade quickens the work. I am employed when
The
negotiations
enchanted
fail.
ensemble and ocean dragon have spawned.
Set, bantu set. Set. Gak bisa anjing. Wah, tolong.
I'm coming to get you.
Nah, akhirnya bantuin baronku, cok.
Waiting yields the most reward. A sharp blade quickens the work.
Your team has slain the enchanted ensemble.
Where are you going?
Ensemble has been summoned in mid-lane.
Ah.
Waiting yields the most reward. Where are you going? A sharp blade quickens the work. Waiting yields the most reward.
Ally slain.
Violence is a means to an end.
Turret
Oh, ada ward. Thank you. Bye.
Enemy killed. I'm coming to get you. Ally slain.
Anjir, dikejar sampai kiamat, cok. Oh my god.
Quickens the work. Shut down.
I'm coming, bro. Let's go.
Under attack.
Coming cuy.
I'm coming to get you.
Anybody here? Mati gua sama Mastery. Kaede sedang bekerja. Iya, aku bekerja.
Violence is a means to an end.
Middle turret is under attack.
Harusnya ngerjain request sih, tapi nggak keburu deh kalau ngerjain request mah. Duh, kena stun. Kejar dia, Perguso. Nice. No flash. Gak ada ultis aku. Mainkan set. I trust you. Susah ya? Tidak lah. Berat euy. Lo masih main deh? Masih. Kita nggak ada apa ya? Since-nya mobil apa tuh?
Order exists because of me.
Maker.
Where are you going?
Main W-nya Kamil susah, aku nggak terlalu jago aja main E-nya.
They pay me to find problems and then dispose of them. Where are you going? Waiting yields the most reward. Purity of forms, purity of function. I am employed when negotiations fail. Be free!
Susah cok.
I'm coming.
Wah, langsung hilang bikin kolektor itu sih. Ente dah. Berat. Harusnya split push aja tadi ya. Nggak bisa timpek. Take a chance. Add gue deh. Mau mabar mah pakai nomor aja sekarang kan bisa. Aku friendku ku unfriend semua.
抜いてでも選手に自身登録しておくというのはどういう意味を持たせるのか、まずはファーストセレクションをかけた 2v2 から見ていきたいと思います。シトラス、ケイニー、
Aku mainnya solo terus sekarang. Males mabar.
対して将軍グリーと AD キャリーとジャングルグリーですね。
DFM としてはジャングルミットのデュオで、まあやっぱりね、前任者のアリアが凄まじい存在でしたから、後を継ぐケイニーはいろいろプレッシャーあると思いますけど、
あると思いますよ。
DFM sekarang ganti ya mid lane-nya.
ゲーム1のところからいいインパクトを残して期待したいですね。
Sekarang berarti MVK lawan Detonation Focus Me. Jepang lawan Taiwan.
そう思いましたね。青だったんですか？
台湾はピアタムや MVK の僕は。
DFM 時代も青だったので、なんか新しい感じがしましたね。
ベトナム。
さあそして
Vietnam
ダ
lawan
ーリー
Jepang.
パンテオン、やはりパンテオン人気ですね。
あ、人気です
あ、
ね。
人気ですね、アトレウス君。
Ganti voting dulu.
まあ、やはり対象して CC、ダメージもある。
さらには、まあ、減少体力に応じて Q のダメージもすごいですからね。
あと E も便利。
そうですね、タワーダイブのとこでも。
はい。まあ、移動速度アップもありますし、ダメージの軽減もありますし、まあ、やっぱりこいつ V2 には組み入れやすいと。
DFM, MVK.
まあ結構ね、バーストありますけどね。
確かに。アイテムどうするんでしょうね、AP ですか？
どっちがいいんだろう。
Judul ganti
かな
juga
り
ya.
早期の決着を見るのであれば AP になるのかな。
すごい組み合わせになりましたね。パンテオンとニダリー、そしてパンテオンとウディア。リングとシールド両方ドラ持ってスタートですね。
みたいですね。
Ini buat healing lane ya.
ケイに悩んでるな、ビルド。
はい。ピッケルで最終的に決めましたかね。
ドランブレード2つ進みもちょっと考えてましたけどね。
はい、さあ、仲良くハウリングアビスの橋を歩いていきますが、さあただ先にちょっとお買い物に時間がかかっちゃったので、ブッシュのポジションを取られちゃいましたね。
そうですね。まあこれは取られてる前提で。
さあ、大量に罠が置かれていく。おお、雪玉選択でもある。さあ、そして飛びかかっていった。そこから一気にストラスが前に出ながら AOE フィールドをどんどんと前に出して、相手の体力をどんどん削っていく。そしてもう一度スタンが入った。グリーン必死の状況でしたが、水星の槍伸ばしたが、ここはかわされている。さあ、今度は将軍が返していくか。槍は当たっていません。
この後2台のヒールがあるから、
あ、
ここで決めれなかったのはちょっと痛いかも。
イグナイトも使っちゃいましたね。将軍残してますよ、イグナイト。
しかもこれケインにポジション買ってないんですよね。
本当ですね。なのでここから体力復帰ができない。グリーはフラッシュがあるので、これケインが狙われる可能性があるが、ストラスが仕掛けていった。そして長距離やり立ってからうまくスタンを決めて、これはでもワンメン返したんですがこの 2v2 は勝っていったのは MVK e スポーツとなりました。
いや、面白い仕掛けでしたけどね。
そうですね、パンテオンのスタンからスタートするんじゃなくてウディアからスタートするっていう。
はい、なるほど。雪玉をうまく使った後は R 解放
Aku
強力
pengen
ですか
ngecek
ら。
detonation focus me
面白いア
rosternya
イデアでしたけど、
masih full Jepang
決
kah?
めきれなかったのが全てでしたね。
そうでしたね。まあ、ピッケルにしてね、ポーションなくてもダメージ出せるようにっていう仕掛けだったんですけど、踏み切れなかったので逆にリカバリー効かなかったですね。
そうですね。
Koreanya 3 orang.
まあこの 2v2 は MVK に勝利ということで渡しましょう。
サイドセレクションのところは、まあ、ファーストピック、どうなるんだろう。 MVK なのでセカンドピック取りそうな
Tapi bukan LCK sih.
そうですけどね。
感じもしますけどね。
Sekarang ada gituannya. Iya tadi kayak apa yang menang milih side gitu.
その
Milih side sama milih first pick.
っていうのもこうスタメンの一覧でもらえるんです
Mau
よ。
first pick atau second pick.
ガムコーチコムにコーチ送り込んでなかったです。なので多分さっき使ってないんじゃないかな。 C4 しか使ってないと思う。
本当だ、いない。
これ可能なんですよ。ルール的に使う必要がないなと思ったらコーチコムに人を送らなくていいんですよ。
Goat
だからそ
jungle.
のレボルさんが冒頭で言ってましたけど、そのまあ妨げになるっていう考え方もあるわけですね、集中力の。だからまあ、ゼとする人もいれば、いやうちはなくていいよっていう意見もあるっていう中で、もしかしたらガムは、うちは選手任せます。
ガムこそあった方が良さそうですけどね。
アクセル効きすぎてちょっと落ち着きなさいっていうだけでもね。
まあでもそれもやっぱり集中力の部分でね、そがれてしまうということかもしれませんが。そのスタメン用のところでいただいてないので、実際どうなのかわかんないですけど、多分先ほどなかったはずです。
Rosternya DFM sejujurnya
棒が引いてあるだけです。
はい。で今回 DFM と
nggak yang OP banget sih.
コーチが
Rosternya ada Korea 3 orang tapi bukan dari LCK.
さあ、それでは見ていきたいと思いますが、おそらく多分画面出てたと思うんです。ちょっと見過ごしてしまいました。
Aku pengen perwakilan Jepang ada yang menonjol. Kemarin sih rada kuat ya detonation focus me ya tahun kemarin ya.
ファーストピックを選んだようですね。
そうですね。そしてブルーサイドをデトネーションフォーカスミが取ったということなので。
Tapi Ray Farki main tuh kemarin katanya mau pensi
今
dia.
年16年目にして初めてレッドサイドがファーストピック。
そしてブルーサイドがラストピック。 なんじゃこりゃっていう感じがしますけれども、
まだちょっと違和感ありますね。
違和感ありますね。
まあ面白い施策ですけどね。
まあ、これが、まずは試験運用ということですね。
まあこれで本当にブルーサイド、レッドサイドがどちらが強いのか分かりますよね。
わかりますね。これまだブルーサイドが基本的にはちょっと勝率が高いよって言われてたわけですが、そしてジェイス・ランブル・オリアナ版からアンベッサ・サイラスに移行。なるほど、サイラスを消しておいてマルファイトを出す。
そのマルファイトジャングルに対してムンドジャングルを当てるというのが結構多く見られますが、選択そうですね。やはり、マルファイト魔法ダメージに対して強くない。でムンドは出すダメージが特に魔法ダメージ強力なのと、パッシブで、ムンドのアルティメット食らっても問題ないですし、1対1の勝負はもうムンド側の有利ですからね。ここは、シラスがグリに対してプレッシャーをかけていきたいというようなマッチアップになりそうですね。
ライズもこのタイミングで取られることが、先出しで取られることも多くなってきました。
そうですね、ただこれでミッドジャングルがかなりスケール寄りなので、
確かに
トップとボットのところに関してはちょっと序盤から戦えるチャンピオンを揃えていきたいところですね。なんかやっぱ今のメタだとスノーボールが強力なので、レイトゲームチャンピオンは5体中1体ないしは2体までみたいな印象が強いです。
もう2体いますよ。
なのでトップとボットは、例えばレネクトンとか、バルス取られちゃいましたけど、バルスとかレーンの主導権取れるチャンピオンが。
Kalau pakai Anivia pick ketiga sebenarnya gampang loh di counternya. Main champion dash aja sih saya. カイサ
最近見て思うんですけど、なんかメタ回りました？
エズリル
ぐるっと十何年前にアニビアと
ライズンですけど、
だってバルス以外シーズン1のチャンピオンですよ。
本当だ、古い。いや
このゲームやっぱすごいなと思います。2011年にリリースされたチャンピオンが2026年にいまだに1000級で使われてるわけですから。
いやベータですよ、それからね、2010年からいるやつがいます。
そうですね。
アルバイトとかそうじゃないですか。
ライズもそうじゃないですか。
ライズもね、社長の名前ですから、初期からいますよ、ベータから。
これただ構成的にはアニビアめちゃくちゃ刺さっていましたね。ムンドとライズに対してかなりきますね。
とことこ歩いていくしかないので、壁も刺さるわ、R も刺さるわですよ。お、スイニャンさん？
昨日もいらっしゃいましたね。
スイニャンさん？応援してくれてますね、現地で。DFM 頑張れ。
これはもう飛び込む要素を加えるしかないですね。DFM。
そうしないとアニメアのなんかプレッシャーとそのエリアの支配力って前に出られなくなっちゃいますね。あとはバルスどうするんでしょう。リーサルテンポのバルスもなんかちょいちょい見る気もするんですけど。
今回の場合だと連の主導権を確実に取りたいので水星バルスが無難かなとは思います。
アニビアで睨み合いながらポークする。
そうですね。
確かに対面も後期ですから、ちょっとリーサルテンポのようなそのエースバルスに行くには荷が重いですか。サバンフェズ、カサンテナ、ヨリックの番。
ヨリックディベン。
睨み合いがかなり強力な構成になっているので、スプリットプッシャーの
ヨリックベンberarti mau main itu kah?
めんどくさいと。
サイオン？
ここでレネクトンを MVK としてはバンするかどうですか。
Aatrox susah ya lawan Anivia ya.
この後だから FM のピックですね。
そうですね。
フォースピックを FM がして、フォースフィフスを MVK が取ると。
2個取るよというプレッシャーかけてます。
Iya, nggak ada ini, ada bisa Nico tuh.
バード2個番なんで。どうするかも？
最4先だし。
さらにスケールする。
Kalau Ben Yorick biasanya mau main Sion sih.
よりコンバンできているので、ただレネクトンを取られるとめんどくさいのと、あとクラトさんどうでしょう、フィオラとかやりますかね。ジャックスでもいいですか。
Akali kah?
確かに。
Akali sih.
あとは
Mid-nya. Akali Ahri.
サポート誰だ？
サポートニダリ？
サポートアニビア？
いや、
ニダリかサポート。
ラカン。アリスタはかなり
Malphite jungle support ini. Alistar. Ini jungle ini.
飛び込むしかないですから。
Ini Ahri atau
アリスタでディスエンゲージを意識すると。
iya kan ada ini ya. Lupa. Itu Nico free?
これウィンレーン、ウィンゲームしかないですね。
そうし
Eh,
ないと
tapi Nico
睨み合いが苦しいですね。
はい。
しかも相手は好きなタイミングで当たるスキルを結構持ってます。
なのでボットレーンのところの勝利、加えてライズの 1v1 の勝利というのはかなり重要になってきますね。ムンドがマルファイトに対してプレッシャーをかけながら一方的にこうマップコントロールを取っていくという展開を DFM としては想定しているんだと思いますね。単純な5対5はやっぱりレンジ差生かされてしまってなかなか飛び込めないんですし、最後のアルティメットアニメの W でね止められちゃいますからね。
本当にそのシトラスがどれだけプレッシャーかけれるか、先手取れるかが重要になりましたね。
かなりそうなりましたね。
で、それができれば、かなりこうレベル6までちょっと MVK としては
Wild Trip Error. Tadi aku habis main satu game.
印象がありますね。
そうですね。あとは、
Tadi aku habis
ボ
main.
ット 2v2 のところでアリサに対して波当てることができましたから、ここで、レーンの条件を取りながら、後期波でスケールしていく。
2v2 ができていれば順調になんか勝てそうな感じ
そうですね。いかにバルスが後期に対してレンジのアドバンテージあるとはいえ、
はい、
波 VS アリサのところは 2v2 のところとなかなか抗いようがないですから、さらにそこのスノーボールも生かしながら、帝国の指令勝って一気にスノーボールを早めていくというところだと思いますね。
さあデトネーションフォーカスミーもまたメンバー新たに、新しいスタートラインに立ったと言えるような状況だと思いますから、SG もそうですけれどもワールドを目指して今シーズン戦い抜いていってほしいですね。
そうですね。ちょっとねスタートのところでトラブルに見舞われてはいますけど、17はやはりこうどうしてもやっぱアリアの後釜としてのケイにどういうパフォーマンスを見せるのか、ここ注目だと思います。
本当にその LJL が誇るミッドレーナーでしたかね、アリアは。さあそれでは見ていきましょう。 LCP2020
Arya kemarin dibantai kocak.
デトネーションフォーカスミーバス MVK e スポーツスタートです。
彗星ですね。バルサやはり。
Wih, Shogun pakai skinnya.
何も持つんですね。キャッシュバック。
これトリプルトニックだと思う。
失礼。
Skinnya Guma.
キャッシュバックは
ポロの可愛いアイコンでしたね。
そうですね。
失礼しました。トリプルトニックはだから3名でしたね。
はい。なんか何かの試合で10人全員サブルーンユーティリティのやつもありましたね。
でもなんかプロって典型サブルーンなりがちではありますよね。
強いですしね。
なんかビスケット時代もみんなそうじゃなかったですか。
はい。
みんなサブルーン典型みたいな。
そしてしっかりとボトム証券取れてますね。
そうですね。
バルスもレベル1強いわけではないですから、ここのレベルアドバンテージを生かしながら有利を広げていきたいところですね。
エリオとしても解放の魔導士を選択しているので、単純な 2v2 というよりかは何かアクションを起こしていきたい、狙っていきたいと。さあラプター前のセットしたワードでグリーの位置が見えているが MVK もそれは把握している。
ムンドもクリア早いですから、できればボットの状況も考えると、相手のジャングルに対して入っていくアクションを行っていきたいところですね。少なくとも必ずボットのカニのコントロールは取りたいですね。
今のこの霊状況作れていれば、確実に各君現でそこを助けることもできますし、
ケニーとしてもそうですね、ボット側のカニのコントロールをサポートするようなワーディングを行いましたね。
さあフェイライトフェアリーサークルの上にワードを置いて視界を大きく広げているのは MVK ではありますが、さあそこにシトラスが入ってくる。置かれているのは予想しているでしょうが、そのままなんかファイトのピンが出てますね。
ブルバフ勝っているところに対して
体を当てに行く。さあどうだ、狩り終わったタイミングになったか。
いや、9が当たったので、
ただ俺の小ギリが当たってスローグリーは追い出された。ただファームをすることはできましたが、リフトスカトルのコントロール確実に取れるような状況だ。
今のシーンが明らかなように、そのマルファイトジャングルに対してムンドを当てる理由ですよね。もうムンドが9を当てたらかなり一方的なダメージのトレードをずっと行えると、マルファイトとしては逃げ帰るしかないというところですよね。さてまずは一つの狙い通り
ですね。
ボットのアドバンテージ、ジャングルの有利作り出しましたね。
さあ先にリコールしていたグリーが姿を見られながらも、なんとかこの上側のリフトスカードを取りたいといったところ、水の王国をかわしてゲンがこれは取り残されていたところに対してのエンゲージ。ファーストブラッドは将軍、
リコールを止めようとしたところを捕まってしまったのかな。
ちょっとスタートを 細かく見えなかったんですが、あとこの
Anjir, by one.
ギリかわされたが、グリに対してまだまだ一つプレッシャーをかけていく。いや、いいステップだ、グリかわしていく。
いや当てたかったですね。
そうですね。フラッシュを使わせるところまで行きたかった。
そうですね。だからこれ
Wah,
個人
digangguin.
ジャングル回るよりかは敵のジャングル回りたいので、
Mita DFM.
一つとしてはラプター枠の待っている。ただエリオがいるかどうかの。
Agresif main Bang Citrus.
パッシブは残っているが、
マティド
うまく CC を別々に当てつつ、
クナストンね
シトラスを捕まえたか、スタンは決まらなかった。フラッシュダウンにはなっている。いや
まあここは
なるほど。
Malphite jungle
これちょっと
sekarang.
まあゲンがおとりになったような形ですね。
Malphite Aatrox sama Jace di jungle sekarang.
判断材料になっちゃいましたね。
Nautilus
そう
juga
ですね。
Nautilus.
まあただまあエリオとしてはジャングルを守るために上側にかなり時間使わされましたから、ウェブのリセット自体 DFM としてもちゃんとできてますね、ボットレーン。ただ、まあやはりそのジャングルのアドバンテージを広げるアクションのところを咎められてしまいましたから、シトラスとしてはテンポのアドバンテージを生かして先にボット側に寄るという動きはちょっとこれでできなくなっています。
DFM はスケールっていう感じでいいんですかね、基本は。
スケール、いや、ただ、
ウィンレーン、ウィンゲームですか。
ウィンレーン、ウィンゲームだと思います。5対5で行うとなると、敵にもうエリアに潜り込まなきゃいけないんですが、潜り込むにはアニビアが邪魔ですし、アリスターが邪魔ですし、レクサイが邪魔です。
そして今回それをかいくぐるようなチャンピオンは揃えてはこなかったので、正面からぶつかるしかないですからね。
そうですね。まあ、一応ね、ライズのアルティメットで送り込むと、
後ろにタンクを
というのもありますが、
それぐらいですか。
よほどムンドが育ってない限り、そういった動きでムンドが活躍するにはアイテム3つ必要な印象がありますから。
となると、やはりこのレーニングの時点でのアクションが一つ一つ大事になってくる。
そうなりますね。
そういう意味だとちょっと MVK の方が今うまく対応してきてますね。1キルもレーンで取った。さらにはシトラスに対してのプレッシャーもかけて。
Caster global udah normal belum mic-nya?
Coming through as much. I guess in the team space, it is a little bit different, but losing out that XP in regards to roaming and trying to make impact can be quite detrimental. It's why you see 80 carries a little bit more sitting in there. The less early rotations, unless it's for an objective. But first Dragon, 6:20 on the clock is quite nice for the side of DFM.
Yeah, doing really, really well, DFM. Ultimately, again, bot lane standing up strong with this double range bot lane, not making that many mistakes, and so they do remain even in gold. You see Kane here. Oh, hold up. Okay, no.
Elio as well has to burn the flash too, but it is the Hextech, so it's going to be a little bit of a timer, but still having to force that reset. Oof, bit risky.
Still a slower paced one. The Dragon's going to be very, very helpful, and Void Grub spawning soon, less than a minute now, so we'll probably see supports. Actually, Elio's hit bot, so I guess just conceding the Void Grubs is the plan for Vikings. Conceding quite a lot, really. 4 teleports,
Coach
by the way.
comes.
Obviously, one of them, is, one of them is Elio's unsealed spellbook, but it does look funny.
And you can see the first one already being used. Shogun heading back down to that bot side. Surprised Elio's not sort of starting to make their way up, as it is 30 seconds. Like I said, to those Void Grubs, there needs to be a little bit more of those rotations.
He'll just teleport
Even
there.
seeing Guri clearing down to the bot side feels a little bit skew-if.
Yeah, I think Elio, they pushed his wave in. Elio can teleport up to the Void Grubs if he needs to be, but they already do see that gang is down here, so at worst it's a 3v3 up in that top side around the Grubs. And I mean, even then you probably just want to teleport as that Alistair, make it a 4v3, guarantee it, but we'll see what they opt to do. Maybe preferring to get some more
Cina Mini. Kamu menghina orang Cina pendek, Bang, Cina Mini.
Yeah, it does give more progress towards that quest completion, which is really important on the supports as it unlocks those
Cina Mini.
farm alarm.
So Guri already making their way up. This is nice to see too. Mundo obviously looking for a bit of an invade into this bot side. Trying to secure and take away the blue buff, but no, Elio just fighting their time, still taking those cleavers to the head.
Coach Kom baru tahun ini ya? Iya, tapi satu match cuma 3 kali kan kalau di LCP mah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh!
Just barely getting out. Ultimate coming through, but unfortunately, It was a warning shot.
Next time, it's gonna hit. The top hat was just a thank you.
I don't know if they win this 2v2 anymore. The bot side of DFM with that level 6 coming through now for Alio. Can take a substantial amount of pain.
Without the tidal wave, though, I feel like they really definitely won't. Like, that is a big ability down, and it's only going to come back up maybe in 30, 40 seconds. So Shogun just sort of trying to keep that control.
Look
maintain
how
a little bit of priority.
Look how far ahead in CS Karkon is.
Oh,
just doing so well on this Corki, and that's against the teleport on the Varus too. So Shogun teleporting back to lane to not miss minions, and still is behind Karkon on the Corki. So really well done by the AD carry of DFM. As he's starting his career, well, his LCP era of his career as a mid lane main, and now truly stepping into this AD carry role and doing it well.
Yeah, successfully up that 10 CS per minute, which is not something to snuff at. So it's really great to see that, like you said before too, it's, yes, they're only about 8 CS or so behind right now, but that's not a huge difference even against that one kill. So I have to see when items come online, especially that Triforce. It's a big item spike that will start turning the tides in these fights. But first item as well, picked up for Shogun, picking up that Ghostblade.
GG juga ya.
Yeah, well done by Kane.
Kane is aggressive.
Able to duck and dive with the phase rush around the damage coming out of this Anivia, although Kaede not feeling too much pain, really. Working towards Rod of Ages for both of them, as well as that Archangels. Much slower game than we've had for the last series.
Well, they could be gearing up for a fight. Citrus getting spotted out. The whole team was looking to rotate up, but Elio as well in this bush.
Yang main Doran guys, yang lain belum tentu.
They throw a lot. Kane is pretty low. Almost got caught in the snowstorm.
Biasanya lawan Rek'Sai pakai apa?
We're trying to shove this one back out.
Matchupnya apa ya Rek'Sai ya? Rek'Sai biasanya second pick sih, jarang orang main Rek'Sai first pick gitu. Pasti orang main Rek'Sai itu kalau musuhnya Saiyan.
Picked up for Guri. So Alton will have a little bit of additional CC utility with that slow that you get from using your ultimate. Has a bit of cooldown reduction as well, which always feels good on a champ that is so heavily ultimate reliant.
Yeah, next Dragon just going over. This is a very slow, quiet game. Like, I want to see a little bit more action, but I guess they're sort of just biding their time. They're trying to build these items up. It's, again, like we said before, it's Shogun.
Kemarin perspik. Nah, itu sekali ya perspik di counter sama Akali kan.
So maybe they know something we
Doran
don't.
Find a way.
Might be a little bit better, but I think it's all about those early item spikes. Maybe get a couple little kills from the laning phase potentially, but they're not really doing anything with it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, no one's really doing much of anything, but Vikings have just naturally grown out a gold lead that is actually pretty substantial. Just 2k for not really much having to be done for it either. So despite this reasonable lead that Karkon has found in terms of that CS, it's slowly dwindling, and Shogun picking up some plates, and that kill obviously has helped a lot to actually put him 800 gold ahead.
Yeah, a couple of quests have been completed too. You know, there's 4 quests for the side of Vikings, so they've all just very much stuck to their lanes and said, guys, let's just get our quests online and maybe we can start looking at fight. But Citrus doesn't want to have any of that and says, I want to try and invade as much as possible. Did not secure the red though, was picked up by Guri.
Dari tadi ngikutin Malphite mulu sumpah. Jadi ward berjalan.
I mean, again, this is a game where you don't actually need to do much, and even though they're behind, as long as they get to level 16, it's going to be so difficult to deal with this Mundo, and he's a wee way away from it now.
Mundo is basically just spying Malphite. He doesn't farm.
At the pace of which it's going. Karkon now finishing up his quest, gets that chunk of gold for himself, and with it, has closed that gap ever so slightly on Shogun.
We're seeing second coach comms coming out for Vikings as well. So it's kind of interesting. They're getting a lot of early comms on the board. So maybe they're just trying to get a bit more of a game plan. Maybe coaches aren't super happy with what they're seeing and saying, guys, maybe we need to start pushing the objectives a little bit more, start pushing up the tempo. But who knows? Another quest coming in, this time for our Rise. Kane picking that up. So we're just waiting on supports now, but they've been roaming around doing all sorts of things. Love to see when that gets picked up so they get those nice cheap pink wards.
For sure. Recall coming through. Dragon. Oh, actually, Rift Shield will be the next objective. That's in a minute.
Semenjak Caps pakai Anivia, sekarang Anivia jadi banyak gini yang make loh. Respect gak sih? Respect to Caps gak sih? Itu Coach Cam aku nggak tahu ya berapa batas detik ngomongnya ya. Cuma emang ngaruh gitu ya kalau cuma bentar ya. Coba kalau misalkan di bawah 1 menit, apa yang bisa kamu katakan ke timmu?
It is slowly stacking.
Woi, main yang bener blow gitu gak sih?
The Shogun, so a little bit more of that pen being coming through.
Udah off.
Should be a little bit helpful, but whether you can get it off at Guri as well, now being chased by Citrus. A little bit of a lemon move if you ask me, but...
The most action we've had this game is just Mundo throwing cleavers, or trophies I suppose, at Guri, who chucks the cheese wheel back, and that's just job done. Here we go, another one. Oh, another dodge. Cheese wheel, there we go.
Purgot jungle sih belum dipakai
slightly
ya.
less entertaining.
Top lane aja enggak ada yang make.
Oh, they're just fighting over some big wards. That's that's what we were seeing right there. But
Buit Pong paling ya pakai Buit
oh,
Pong.
look, they're sending a couple. Oh, here's a little bit of a collapse though. Citrus sitting in a bush. Wait,
Mundonya sih aktif banget ya.
You just know Citrus wants to walk up, just get that one auto attack, that satisfying donk
Awas.
with the heart steal. But it's just too risky.
Aduh, gak ada pasif itu, si Mundo mati dong, Mundo mati.
It just blasted into oblivion. That's the Shogun special. They do have to walk out. No jungle. It means Rift Herald does go over to Guri. We're finally seeing that
Holy
action
shit.
in place.
No.
Gung just had to flash that because if that arrow hit, it could have been,
Mundo.
a kill.
Absolutely.
Mundo gak ada pasif, terlalu maju.
Guri still
oh
hunting,
tidak, Malphite ada ulti, cok. Oh, gak kena, nice.
There it is, great flash. Cocoon is holding on.
Oh shit, ayah mati.
As well. Look, it's so much damage. You're stuck in a glacial storm and you're just being melted by it. Rift Herald's still going to get that second charge up. Gang can't even back without getting poked out, and now the game is online. 4K gold lead.
This is
3
painful,
kills over the
brother.
Vikings.
Yeah, and that's a massive leap forward now. A lot of gold picked up. Got themselves a Rift Shield, the mid tower, a couple kills. And Citrus on half HP just gets taken out. Very, very clean. The Ignite there, so no healing could possibly come through. And Gang's tidal wave, while it does disrupt a little bit, it's still going to be a great ball out of Kaede, forcing the flash away out of Gang. And Kakun, oh, even hit with that arrow. Shogun, dead on the money here.
That Flash Frost as well, just so
Kenapa
impactful.
gak makin Niko ya?
Stuck in a wall, stuck in a
Supportnya. Ini untung miss ulti.
storm. So
Tapi tetap mati ditembokin Corginya.
Not too
Haya.
bad because it still gets the kill. Sending out all this damage. Still got an egg available and they just sat there. Caddy's very comfortable. It's the Dragon fight. Blue
Okay,
is able to get a DFM. Citrus takes it away. Now Cocoon is trying to hold them back. There's the Void Rush. It does pick up Citrus. And now a little bit sour for that one. As they do have to walk out, there is a big wall, but now look at this. Sides in the backside. Ray Marking wants to try and 1v3.
Holy shit,
There's the big knock-up. Elio into the back line. Is going to get it done. As they do send this away, a little bit slow, but the route is still big. And they have to just walk away.
Punya ulti, cuk.
A nice pickup as they do secure the jungler on DFM.
Yeah, so it was a Dragon for one. A reasonably good trade, all things considered for DFM, considering the state of the game.
MVK dari Vietnam, DFM dari Jepang.
In favor of the Vikings, and having a good game for themselves is, yeah.
Jepang kalau di LCP terlalu kebuli sih sejujurnya. Kayaknya LGL harus misah deh.
Not that tanky.
Viewershipnya paling banyak tau.
Few more levels and we'll get there.
LGL sebenarnya.
Great controlling of the river, not really allowing Vikings rather a way in. Such as able to just freely hit this dragon.
Taiwan sama Jepang viewershipnya sama lah. Jepang harusnya bisa sendiri bisa sih. LGL.
There's a nice wall here from Kaede too, but unable to follow up really on this Corki.
As long as he has that Valkyrie too, he can just get over that wall. But if it's used too early, he's just going to be stuck. And it could be pretty rough. So we did see that just before
Aduh,
as well.
mapet ada ulti.
Very unstoppable force. They just said point blank, come here, you blue smurf. We want your blood. They put out a
Bisa,
wall.
bisa.
Realm
Nice.
Warp is going to be used just to get to safety and a nice retreat.
I can't help but laugh when I see Malphite ults. The first one, he ults, Karkun flashes away and he just waddles away the opposite
Cuma Brazil
direction.
aja yang udah lepas sama North America.
On top of himself,
LGL
just
harusnya
point
bisa
blank.
juga sih, viewershipnya
Slams the wall.
bagus kok LGL.
And, yeah,
Kemarin
I mean,
aja
that's great.
yang
A good
acara
chunk of gold
yang
Karkun's able to
tier
pick up for
tier
himself,
3-nya apa?
essentially no effort whatsoever.
LTK ya? LTK aja rame, 10k yang nonton. LGL kayaknya dipisah juga.
Seeing a little bit of tankiness out of this Malphite, but I'm looking at this Anivia, Seraphs, and a Rod of Ages
Pisah
too.
sih LGL
We're
sih.
only seeing the Rod of Ages and
Sama
part of the Seraphs
LCP tuh
keen
jomplang
on this
banget.
rise. So this Anivia having a pretty good game for themselves. Only 200 gold up, but clearly the items have definitely been working in their favor.
Kalau nggak slotnya tambahin deh.
It's the middle number.
Oh my God.
The CS is pretty much the same.
I was looking at the CS.
Yeah. Don't worry. I've been caught out by it before, but yeah, pretty much everyone's about a K up. They're in the region of.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a sizable advantage here for Vikings, as they are looking strong, realistically here to start off the split. Shogun being very accurate, pinpoint accuracy with these arrows so consistently. Again, they are on a timer though. Citrus, Rayfaki will get to a point where they are just completely unstoppable. Kaede being a little bit
Soalnya kalau jomplang gini
accelerated, I suppose,
kayak
will
apa ya?
help with dealing with those tanks.
Nanti malah turun
does
hype
get to an
player
overwhelming
Jepangnya.
point eventually.
Enggak,
Yeah, 20 minutes into the game as
kalau
well,
player
Baron
Jepang
has
lawan
just
player
spawned,
Jepangnya
but
mah
No
lumayan
longer one of those
seru.
objectives that we
LGL-nya
will
mah
just see get absolutely roasted.
viewer
instantly
Jepang
as
kan
it
ngasih
spawns, but
banyak view
Elio as
tuh
well. In a bit of a
di
pickle, getting
LGL.
slowed up, does sidestep so much.
Tapi
Jump up to
seru.
now as well. That's actually Rayfaki in the backside. Tidal Wave 2 does just go sideways. Chains Corruption as well. Misses everyone and they just retreat.
Terus tahun
like nothing
2022
happened.
ya, 22 apa 21 nah. 2022 karena yang 2021 mereka menang lawan Amerika, Jepang. Amerika emang nggak se-OP itu sih, tapi keren tau bisa menang lawan Amerika dulu. Waktu masih ada LGL, jadi kayak nambah apa ya? Nambah PD juga gitu ke pemainnya kalau misalkan lawan LGL lagi.
Yeah, I think there's the biggest one that we saw was
Kalau
like you
lawan
can almost
kalau diadu
100 to
kalau
0
bonyok
and
sama
80
Vietnam
carry. I think it was a
sama
Tom Kench that I saw do it.
apa
100 to 0 to 80
Taiwan
carry, just
gini
from the teleport
mental
shield,
playernya
shield bash,
down dah.
and it hurt.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's a fun development.
Yeah, this shield bash
Waktu
room
masih
with
ada
that
LGL
teleport
mah Jepang
seemed like it'll be pretty nice.
masih
She
bisa
accesses
ngelawan
shield, you
gitu.
have like Kainic Recurn, which procs it, and a lot of ways for top laners to utilize that summoner. It also works if you have an enchanter support. So
Yes. Ooh.
food for thought. Could conjure up some ancient shield bash 80 carry with a Janna tech. Who knows?
Bring
I'm
back
not going
the
to.
Ornn 80 carry. Why not? Just see what happens. And okay, Citrus getting slowed up, but a lot of damage coming out. Rayfaki getting hit with the Chains of Corruption is being trying to sit up to the
Awas,
side.
Cok!
Fury waiting in the wings, but no, Citrus as well. There's a nice little flank from Kratos, but he
Iya,
says, I'm gonna
Malphite
tunnel
di
out of
jungle
this one.
sekarang
Not worth taking.
udah
But
di buff
Dragon is
clearnya
up, so
cepet.
it is a Cloud Soul that we're seeing as well. The
Malphite
Dragon, we all
jungle,
love to
Nautilus
see a lot of movement
jungle,
speed,
Aatrox
a lot of
jungle,
rotations. But now they're just waiting for
Jace
who's
juga
gonna pull the
balik
trigger.
lagi ke jungle.
Yeah, and they dealt with tank ultimate number 1, Mundo. Citrus losing that one.
Aku pengen lihat Zahen
Unfortunately,
jungle
tank
sih
ultimate
sebenarnya.
number 2 here in Rayfaki is still up and
I
available.
think
so
Zahen jungle gonna
definitely
be
finds an angle
pretty cool.
to go for that ultimate to find a way onto a potential carry.
Sona
especially now
sih
that
nggak
wall
bisa ya.
from Kaede is down. Certainly is a playable fight.
Support
Citrus
aja nggak bisa
unstoppable
Sona.
force comes in. They're going to get a little bit more
Wajir,
damage.
tiga
They get
orang.
a huge knock up 3 in the backline. Elio is absolutely crushing this one. Rayfaki so low.
Aduh,
Fury now
dibantai
with this
cok sama Rek'Sai.
point rush does take out Cocoon. That's
Okay,
your
nice.
damage source. Caddy as well taking
Itu
out
tuh follow up
Rayfaki.
zombie-nya.
And it
Wait,
is
wait.
just a big shutdown.
Nggak bisa ya?
1 for 2
Ha.
is a big trade for Vikings.
Nggak ada ADC deng.
There's low
Mati.
health bars, though, and
Jadinya Corki.
Kane's still relatively healthy. I wonder if there's ever an avenue where they can look to try and stop this dragon, because getting a third dragon for themselves would be quite nice, but it seems like willing to give it over. Vikings able to win out on that 5-2-1.
This is
Give
pain.
themselves control of this objective. Will be able to take it down, even up that dragon score, and delay any potential soul shenanigans for at least another 5 minutes.
And let's get a replay of that one because it was a pretty good fight. We were just sort of sitting around waiting, but that unstoppable force
Banyak banget
flashes going
knock-up-nya.
forward. Elio, look at that.
Wow.
It's the
Ada
back, but
Alistar,
even
ada
with
Malphite,
tidal
ada
wave,
Rek'Sai.
had such an impact to reset this fight. Look at Shogun
Kayak
throwing
ADC
out
Yasuo
arrows,
bisa deh.
and the Void Rush too into this back, just helping solidify this fight, even for the sacrifice.
Gets himself that kill.
Main Yasuo enak betul, banyak banget penyepongnya.
DPS at this stage of the game.
3 orang.
Still slowly scaling away at DFM.
Main Yasuo aja padahal tadi Shogun.
In favor of the Vikings, and Baron now available. They're looking to set up around this objective, try and see if they can force a way in to get a pickup of that. And it kind of is.
Lah, Yasuo emang ADC kalau di PC.
He gets closer and closer to that level 16. And again, Lethality Varus is not going to be offering all that much when it comes to trying to take down these tanks.
Yeah, even with a grudge, it's not really going to get the huge amounts. A little bit of slows, but now Guri's off to the side. Back at the beach. It'd be interesting to see how they're going to deal with these tanks as the game goes on. Again, you've said it before, it's this Lethality Varus where we're failing to see what impact it
Ayo,
will
Japan.
have. Maybe its goal is to just destroy Cocoon Gang in this backline and just get a lot of damage off, but the follow-up really feels like it's going to be down to this Anivia, who,
Japanese
yes, is most likely building into a Void Staff, but is it going to be enough? Is the slows, is the damage going to get it there?
Very big question. Yeah.
Kurang greget itu.
As this game continues, the lead means
Nggak ada outplaynya.
as items do come through, and Citrus really just needs to find a way to get some XP. Seeing him on that level 13 to Guri's 14. Unfortunately, wards no longer do that. That was taken away.
Alah keciduk ini. Padese gua.
No longer do they want us to be level 2 on the first minion wave in middle top.
Ah, mati lagi Corki.
Oh, they're looking for the fight, Cocoon. Beautiful lockdown. There's the unstoppable force. Where did that Corki go? You're not allowed to exist in this game with this mouth, but they keep going. The Void Rush takes another one. Ray Farki's now all alone, stuck
Susah
behind the
ini
wall,
kalau
and
gini
they
sih ya.
cannot move. Yes, they throw out the ultimate. They're going to hold on a little bit more, but it is a double kill heading up for Kratos. The God of War is coming for blood.
Yeah, I think the only way you find yourself in a position where this Baron is so easy to take is by stepping egregiously far forward in that mid lane, and that's exactly what Karkun does, and it's exactly what Vikings punish. They come in, Karkun, he tries to get away with the Valkyrie, no flash available to himself, and just gets hit in the head by a rock, and gets knocked up, taken out, and with that, that's all of the damage really for the side of DFM gone. It's
Bingung
very
aku
hard to
bahasnya
survive
kalau
that
gak ada
uptime
perlawanan
without
ini
some
semua.
threat on his team. And so it's pretty straightforward now. Vikings take that, the Baron's now there, and all of a sudden the scaling becomes less of a threat as this timer is extending. During the Baron, a lot of push, not a whole lot of wave clear against these Baron up minions, but just, there's no business being here.
No. No, there was no reason for them to be that far up away from tower when they had no vision
Nggak,
on
itu
side.
Corkinya nggak ada
No real
alasan buat di
agency,
mid
and
di
Ray
situ.
Farki clearly
Buat
was-
apa coba?
Missed the memo, you might even say. It'd be like, I'll TP in, guys.
Kenapa
But
Corki
just was
diam
not
di
there
situ?
at the right
Jelas-jelas
time.
di
It
mid.
was just late, and they got caught for it.
Yeah, but an example of how this game could have
I
been
don't
hard
understand.
is that was 5 people hitting a Scion for nearly 10 seconds and finally got him. So you can kind of envision what the fights could look like if they are just even, and given more time too, where Citrus is at that same point. But Vikings, they see an opportunity, they strike.
Buat apa coba diri di situ?
And with an 8k gold lead now, Vestion is looking a lot better. It was thinking about
8K
that
gold
5,
lead.
that Baron just hit them up again. Now they're looking closer to 9.
Bro,
and
bring
they're pushing
LGL
in
back.
every wave.
This
They
is
are
not
top,
fun.
mid, and bot. Ray Farki as well, slowly getting burnt
Aku
out
pengen
by
LGL
Snow.
balik lagi sih.
Love to see as they're just mincing through these towers. The gold
Sumpah,
just
format LCP nih
steadily increasing.
nggak fun.
But there's a lot of damage now coming out here
Okay.
as well.
Mungkin,
Put it out as
mungkin,
there's Ray Farki
mungkin
looking for a little bit more
satu
of a fight.
dulu,
They
satu
do
dulu,
need
backline,
to pick up
backline,
Elio.
Rek'Sai.
Very happy with this development, but can they turn
Anivia.
it around? Rayfaki, low, picked up by Kaede, unstoppable force the back line. So strong's good, it's not going to hold the goal. The Void Rush is enough to lock them down. Rayfaki, the zombies holding
Ada
on.
Baron sih ya.
Kratos is walking away, they're in their base, and they're looking to finish this one out. Gung is caught once again, double kill for Shogun, and they're at everything, and a huge turn for Vikings. 10k gold lead to boot, and I think they're going to close this one out pretty clean and clear.
Kirain momen Ezreal gitu
And
ya.
what a huge first debut game for this roster. Like I said, they stuck the team together, they held true, and they've come up with the goods.
Tadi kirain momen Ezreal
Game
gitu.
one done and dusted, and it's Vikings in a dominant fashion. All it took was for DFM to slow down the pace, get to
It's
their
just-
spike, and
it's
look
just
for an opportunity.
bad.
It was
This is
one mistake
sad.
in the mid lane, that was their ultimate undoing. And the Vikings aren't going to miss an opportunity like that. They strike, they take the Baron, they take the base, and now lead the series 1-0. And DFM,
Viking.
they've got a lot to prove in this series. Obviously, Game 2 and Game 3 possibly on the horizon. But with what was, I mean, I actually think they lost the draft until it was Lethality Varus, but Shogun somewhat proving me wrong, just so deadly accurate with those
Mari kita lihat
piercing
Bro.
arrows coming through onto prime
What is
targets.
bro doing?
And really opening up so much opportunity for his team to punish.
Mana
DFM
LCK?
there.
Again, it really came down to as well was the really nice flanks. We saw Kratos being impactful on this Rek'Sai.
Let's watch bro.
So he was there at like 94 minutes, 90. I never know whether it's 92 or 94, but he was the one that made the game-winning play in that moment on his Kha'Zix, killing Faker's Kassadin in the jungle. I remember that. That was very, very cool. So maybe you can give some of that energy over to the bros to allow them to pick up a victory
Kalah satu lagi sama
in
BNK.
this game number 2.
BNK
As
sih
we can
rosternya
see,
solid
BNK,
sih sumpah.
BRX, one win away
Emang
from
sesolid
putting
itu di
another
BNK.
one, in the wins column for Team Elder, putting them at 5 versus 2. Oh man! Elder Drake looking pretty powerful here in comparison to the Purple Worm.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense.
It does. An Elder
BNK
Dragon
sih emang
can fly. I was
sesolid
actually
itu sih
thinking about this earlier
rosternya.
on today, and I
Mau
was like,
ganti
but
coach
Elder is
juga
just
kagak ngaruh ini
way
emang
better. Like, you can also just fly
sempurna
away
ini
and grab your
roster.
buddies if you want
Gak
to.
usah diganti
Baroness
deh.
is stuck there.
Kalau bisa.
I mean,
It's
also,
like a pop.
I was
Kalau
thinking
bisa
more
roster ini
buffs.
gak usah diganti deh.
Right, yeah, I mean, there's that too.
But also,
Selamanya.
you did just see the cinematic, right? With the
Literally
Elder,
a
and it was
perfect
all, like,
roster.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
So
Although a bunch of rocks in front of the mountain was all they really needed to stop that one.
they need Malphite.
Oh, true!
There's the solution.
All right, another solution is breaking the draft, which is seemingly what just happened. So we're going to do that, and that means that we will be able to analyze.
Harus Taiwan sama Vietnam aja ya gak sih? Sisanya ngambil dari open qualifier.
Elder Dragon and a Baron. Baron is a void
Iya.
monster, and so maybe like.
Sama aku rasa LGL kasih aja sih regionnya sendiri udah.
I think we're going to
Orang
military.
viewershipnya rame kok.
When you think about
Misah sama LCP juga masih rame Jepang mah viewernya.
like the Elder Dragon looked so cool in the fight, right? But pretty much like every champion that isn't a support can solo the Elder Dragon.
Kalau
like,
gitu
go down for it.
kasihan
It just kinda sits there as well.
lihatnya.
Like they amped up the Baron and
Yang
has
nonton
lots of
juga
cool attacks
kasihan
and
gitu.
stuff.
Dukung timnya
Like, they should
bonyok
make
sama
Dragons
Vietnam Taiwan
Exactly.
apa
They should
coba.
make it like if you think how strong the buff is, like it's supposed to be like a game ender. They should really give it some OP attacks. Like put some bins on the floor that are like the Elder bin.
So maybe because the cinematic did actually have the Elder Dragon starring in it, maybe that means that this year is the year that we're going to develop some of the Elder Dragon's abilities.
That's the pitch.
Maybe we
Nico
could work on
Ben.
that. I could probably send Maddie a message or something, just ask him to see whether you can put the word in to the design team.
J4
figure something out
Ben.
there. But we'll just have to see. We are here into the draft once again as Nico Jarvan this time going to be taken away, and there is a Rumble band one more time. I imagine Jace is going to find his way to the ban list, and we'll see whether that Malphite is once again going to be something that we will see.
Yeah, so last time it was the Bros with second pick, and this time they've gotten first pick, so a little bit of a switch up in terms of like draft order and things. But you see the Orianna being banned away this time, and you can understand Prior Rising with like the Azir and the Talia being gone. Also kind of shuts out the chance of like Ori Nocturne, which would be very strong.
By the way, I'm really digging this draft music.
Yeah, it's a good
big
vibe.
fan. It's got that like sort of Tron vibe, you know, like some of that sort of retro.
Yeah.
Like I'm really into it.
Oh,
The Rock is going to be taken away.
Yeah, Malphite still not going to come through. Gwen was one of the ones that was banned last time by B&K FearX, so we'll see if they opt to go for that again. Then again, they are on second pick this time. I was about to say Red said they're on second pick this time. They weren't on second pick before.
Yep. There is
and
Jace.
Jace, yeah, is gonna get taken off
Poppy
guard, so
nih.
that makes sense.
Gideon kan one trick Poppy dia.
Which were taken away last time.
I do want to shout out to chat as well. The bro tax is coming through thick and fast, and we appreciate that here at the LCK. Keep that coming if you do want the bros to be able to bring us to a game number 3. That it doesn't only mean that the bros win a game, but it also means
sekarang Red Set bisa ini ya, bisa first pick ya.
Everyone wants. So the Rise going to be the first pick up here for Roma, and as someone called Roma, having a champion that roams very well
God, Diablo
is
Yunara.
a good thing. This is dangerous though. That's Yunara for Diablo.
Yeah, that's a scary pick to deal with. I mean, Actualizer Rise does just look bonkers, if we're being honest. But Yunara very powerful. Also, Yunara being second pick, you could leave
Yunara Lulu tamat sudah, bro. Bro, what are you gonna fight this shit?
We're confident.
We did see this work out very, very well yesterday. I feel like Wild Growth is so good at not only being a healing tool,
take
but
Apelios.
also just to layer on to engage,
Apelios,
especially
trash.
if you have things like Wukong and
Teddy, can you
stuff
play
that can
Apelios?
really get in there. That's likely what we're going to be seeing them augmenting this composition with. So already a pretty dangerous start.
Teddy,
here to
can
the
you play
draft. You
Apelios?
can see Teddy looking unfazed
Ambessa.
as they lock away the Ambessa.
They opt not to match bot lane. They opt to go for the Ambessa, which, I mean, technically is a flex still, although we've seen it more in the top lane. Will they pick jungle here, and will they just say we're going to pick bot lane after the next rotation of bans, or is it something they want to prioritize now?
Nautilus.
Again.
Nautilus flex ini. Sekarang Nautilus bisa di jungle, bisa di support sekarang. This is flex.
To deal with her, because they know obviously the threat it can be. I think that can make a lot of sense, just being able to shut down.
Okay, Raptor playing Xin Zhao.
Quite short ranged.
Well, in goes the Xin Zhao. Pretty comfortable here for Raptor. And if playing that one, you can audaciously charge in, get that wild growth. And Lulu Xin Zhao is a tale as old as time. We've seen it many, many times. And a very strong 1-2 punch, especially in the mid game. They can play around one another. So expect to see Raptor towards that bottom side of the map as early as possible. As now we're going to see some AD carries being banned away here, trying to protect this Yunara pick, as already the Corki is going to be taken away from Teddy. So not as many of these.
Ben Red Side, Nico, Jarvan, Malphite, and...
Yeah, I think Corki, obviously with the Nautilus as well, you have a lot of lane pressure. Can kind of keep the Yunara down a little bit, and then you're pretty self-sufficient in team fights. So, you know, Nautilus goes, engages, you can do your own thing. Assume it is a Nautilus support.
And Cassiopeia.
They're going to ban the Cassiopeia, so trimming some of the mid laners for that Rise matchup. I wonder if they take away the Gwen, because Gwen Xin Zhao I feel like is pretty potent.
Padahal tadi kalau bisa diambil dulu nih biar gak di-ban Apelios ya.
Pick we've seen a good amount of.
Soalnya counternya ini mentok-mentok Apelios, apalagi coba.
Yunara, Lulu hard to really match for any.
Tadi kirain mau diambil di sini langsung.
Available, so maybe that is something that they can look towards as far as like at least
Teddy, what you're gonna play?
In lane. But it is still pretty.
Yeah, like if they wanted to put the Nautilus in the jungle and they went something like Jin Karma, they could just like bully out the lane. But it really just depends what the rest of the composition is for B&K FearX. Could have a little bit of a difficult time cutting through, like, you know, if they have Xin Zhao and then a trickier front line.
Galio.
Okay, they are heavily investing into the Diablo basket here.
Yeah, and already we saw Vikler in game number 1 going for
Tidak sesuai judul, lagi break dulu, belum mulai.
And Galio,
terpindah lagi.
a champion that abuses that even further. Although has not necessarily been the most powerful on this current patch. We'll see what Vikler is going to be able to make of it though. Into the Rise, something that shouldn't be too much of a worry here is Teddy on his Varus, something that he has found a lot of success on in the past.
So,
Varus apa? Lethal Varus. Berarti DPS-nya Rise.
And it looks like we
jungle, iya jungle Trundle, berarti support Nautilus.
Ambessa top. And
Jungle
could it
Zed?
be- I actually really like the Zed.
Actually,
I kind of like Trundle just because it does
banyak tank, iya sih, mending Trundle sih. Tapi seru Zed sih, cu.
It was sort of like they
Yaudahlah.
were going for like one of these pseudo Juggernaut style compositions that we remember the Rocks Tigers sort of debuting a million years ago.
Yeah.
Aatrox.
Where you can just play a whole bunch of tanks and a hyper carry. Not going to be the case this time, as Clear is picking up the Aatrox. I feel like we haven't had Aatrox at all so far this season.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is our first
Ya,
one.
keduanya bagus sih picknya.
Yes, it is. First time we're seeing Aatrox.
I think both are good picks.
I think I was talking about the Gwen earlier, but maybe the matchup into the Ambassador can be a little bit tricky. But definitely some extra damage as well for the side of BNK Fearx. I still feel like the composition is going to be very reliant on the Yunara, but you know, this is not the first or last time I think BNK Fearx will put their eggs in the AD carry basket.
Yep. I think it makes a fair bit of sense. Diablo is a prodigy, and so you may as
dua-duanya
well
bagus sih.
utilize it as they are walking their way back. Coaches shaking
Apa,
hands.
bro,
We are
late
getting
game
ready
ada
to get
Ryze.
onto the Rift here for game
Di-
number 2. The
di-
Bros, I
BNK
like
juga ada
where this
Yunara.
composition's at. With the Nautilus there on beside
Both are
the
good.
Varus as well, does that mean that we're going to be seeing some on hit?
Pinter-pinter
perhaps?
bro
Because
aja sih, jangan
oftentimes when
sampai
there's an
kena
Nautilus,
ulti
the on-hit
Galio sih.
comes out a little bit more, but we will just see. It's been only lethality so far.
Yeah.
But you can have some fun moments with the extra attack speed.
Galio-nya nih ngeri,
Get the
cok.
keystones being shown. But looking like a pretty stock standard composition on the side of BNK Fearx. And Trundle hasn't been around so much more recently. So we'll see what Gideon can do on this champion to potentially bring us to a game 3.
Kalau ADC mah pasti div sih. Ini apa? ADC sih, ini Ryze harus carry sih.
Alright, bro fans in full voice.
ADC udah fix kalah sih.
As Clear just throwing out some abilities, casting not really being too bothered by it.
Jadi
And Gideon.
Ryze harus
Find
carry
Raptor.
sih.
This is it's not quite a troll under the bridge, but he is in a pretty scary position.
I mean, he should just be able to mangle him level 1, so...
Yeah, he just sort of like walks around the corner and eats the Xin Zhao. Is that not just what happens here? Yeah. In he comes. Chomp. And yeah, Raptor just
Okay,
has to
Gideon.
vacate the area. There's not a whole lot
Alright.
that he can do about this. And
Okay.
so Gideon now with just full control of the jungle. And this is what we were talking about.
Gak bisa Galio, gak bisa bantu. Dia kalau ninggalin lane nanti kalah gold price-nya jadi.
Yeah, he's
GG
gonna try
sih
and
ini.
go for
Gideon
wolves
GG
instead
sih.
to hit level 2, but Gideon is like forcing him out.
Kalau misalkan Galio bantu, ter dia kalah lane price-nya jadi ter. Ryze-nya harus carry soalnya.
Raptor is able to actually head over toward the enemy blue side. Or it could be some shenanigans here as Gideon clears out his side of the jungle as well as heading over to his blue side as well. So,
you know,
a tough time here for Raptor.
Xin Zhao just generally doesn't do well into Trundle, but I think level 1 is just like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
The fact that you're losing your AD and he has such a short cooldown on the Q. It is going to be the Lethality Varus, which...
Oh, is that a turret shot?
Oh, no
yeah,
flash.
he does have to flash his way
Nice.
out, and the heal had already been used.
Yeah, that wasn't ideal. Looks like they used summoners earlier for some heavy trades, but... Yeah, so we've seen more of the
Full
Lethality
screen
Varus,
gini mah ngelulus
and
kopi kanan
I
kah?
feel like on hit hasn't been...
Enggak, ini bentar doang, ntar
Crazy
kita
things
pindah
happening here in
lagi
this mid lane as
nonton
Flash just as Punch
LCP.
does get Vikla to relative safety, but he has to use his flash, as Roma only having to invest the Ghost to get that one out. Already things just happening here in this game number 2. As Clear taking a lot of damage as well, as casting great
This
trade.
game looking a lot more heated than the last one, if we're being
Certainly.
honest.
Just action all over the place.
Yeah, and
Nama
I think,
bro
you know,
supportnya
on-hit builds have
nanggung.
to be super favored by some of the changes we saw
Nanggung.
in the new season, but my only concern is that for Bro, you know, Lethality Varus into some of the
Top
picks that
lane-nya
BNK
seru sih,
Fearx
Aatrox
has.
ambese.
If you don't kill like an Aatrox or a Xin Zhao, or you like pump your damage into them when the Xin Zhao has his shield up, or like there's a wild growth that comes through, you do just run out of damage as the Lethality Varus, right? Compared to on-hit who can just keep autoing, so...
Yeah.
That is a little bit of a concern, but you do have other members of the team with some sustained damage, like the Rise.
Yeah, we'll have to see how fed Roma can get in this game, whether he can make it to those 3 items that have looked incredibly broken so far this season. As Vikla looking to try and make his way in, but hits kind
Bruh.
of nothing.
Yeah, that's a nice route.
Awas. Ayah. Bait ternyata cowok. No flash mati udah. Jir. Oke, Galio, nice bait. What the fuck? Bait anjir.
Focused on the 1v1 and had some vision from that ward, but kind of went in a position where you were just so easily dove on. Like, I think he'd seen Raptor already here on the board, right?
Kelihatan lah di ward tadi. Dia kan di bus ya. Ada ward merah tuh.
He was like round the corner before. I'm not sure if you'd seen him. It looked like maybe
that's
the ward
weird.
wasn't deep enough in the brush or something. But yeah, I think just too close to that wall where
There
his
is
speed
ward?
jumped on from over it.
Hello?
I think if you stay a bit more central in the lane, you're a lot safer. But considering the success he was having in the lane, the pressure he had on Vikla, the fact that he forced that early flash, and now to be down sums and having died, not ideal for Roma in this one.
Yep, I'm going to put that in the cons column. Absolutely. As Clear and Casting continuing to battle it out here towards this top side of the map. Interesting that we were talking about Zahin, and we do get just the old version of him in just regular Aatrox here in this top lane instead. But Clear just wanting to play something a little more familiar, perhaps. And we'll be locking this one away. Can still do some pretty ridiculous things in team fights against a whole bunch of champions that are largely melee range, and there are 3 of them that are
Okay, let's go.
bill. Is now Vikla with Phase Rush. He's looking to try and make his way out here.
Gak mempan lo slownya. Oh, mampus. Kena gak sih? Just. Kasih rise. Aish. Gideon. Boleh bisa tuh. Kok tahu 2 versus 1 cuk. Kenapa takut anjir? Lagi. Itu. Janggalnya kenapa balik anjir? Itu free kill cok, Gideon.
There was a nice sidestep at the end, but it was a little concerning when Raptor went in there to try and save the play, especially given the low health
Smite gitu, smite-nya belum berubah ya.
Who obviously got a bit of heal when Vikla went down, so a good pickup there from Gideon to punish Vikla's lack of flash.
Yep.
But heavy focus around the mid lane in this game so far.
Yep, everything very, very even in this game, though. As we can see, only 100 gold separating these 2 teams.
Tuh ganti liga. Yang sebelah belum mulai, ntar pindah lagi.
But the jungle is pretty even in farm, despite that.
Yeah, ignore this as far as the year of Vikla is concerned. It's still the year of Vikla, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got ganked, it's not fair.
Yeah, it takes a while to cut through him.
Ini mati loh Sinzao kalau dibantu sama jungle nih.
Has to just run away.
Clear. Having picked up his first plate, was looking for another one here, as the crab is likely to be taken here by Raptor.
Yeah, Casting actually hasn't reset yet. He's going for it now, but Clear's already reset and come back to lane without teleporting.
Oh wow, so I didn't even notice that he still has teleport available, okay.
Yeah, I think just has had prio in that lane and had complete control so far.
Certainly been able to shove waves in over and over again as teleport towards the top side for Clear will come on through as he is getting closer and closer to item number 1. Gideon has now hit level 6 though, so we'll have that subjugation up and available. We'll probably be saving that one for Vikla most of the time, because he will be building the most tanky stats, but it looks like not going to be starting with a tank item.
Namgun has gone Aftershock again. Actually, wait, he's on that side of the trundle. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Los Ratones ntar malam jam 11 lawan Fnatic. Humanoid balik lagi.
Some extra Aftershock stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately not the Aftershock Galio that you're really hoping for.
True. Vikla almost able to use his phase rush in order to save his life earlier on as well. So already getting some value out of
Los
that
Ratones lawan Fnatic.
Theoretically. It's Casting doing a bit better in these trades now with the core fields put together.
I do feel like I'm liking the supports leaning back towards like the.
Yang aku bingung ya, Casey kan ada, terus ada Casey Blue. Berarti Casey ada 2 tim gitu. Casey sama Casey Blue.
On those combat keystones and also just don't have
Kenapa nggak ganti nama jadi Blue aja?
Bard or Rakan, who don't have as much specific synergy with any one keystone.
Yeah.
But I think like Nautilus having the Aftershock does just make you so much tankier when you are one of the squishier.
Iya, kenapa 2 tim anjir?
Oh, Roma just making his way out of taunt range. And Gideon grubs happening once again as he does take away the first one. Should be able to grab the second as well, as Raptor is busy dealing with Roma here in this mid lane. Casting gonna get chained up, but
Nanti ada
managed
Casey
to break
Red.
those pretty comfortably. Namgung is going to get his way out of
Kayak
this drive
Pokemon
rush.
gitu.
And Raptor with a bit of an invade.
Kind of a slow game once again. You know, we had those illegal scraps and then it's just slowed down, but they are now looking for a dive clear, so he's just dead, I believe.
I don't know what he's going to be able to do here. Let's see whether he can actually find an angle. As Casting gets himself out of there, the World Ender does come on through. And I believe Vision was given over, and there it is. So the ward goes over the wall. Gideon is just going to vacate.
Honestly, a good ult and clear the wave out and able to mitigate it. I thought, looking at the wave coming in, looking at Gideon being there, I thought they were just going to dive and he was going to be down, but able to survive and create some space, and now a dive on the bot side.
Yep, see whether they can take down Teddy here, as there's a heroic entrance as well, as Teddy now trying to turn it on to Kellen. Wins the wall, come in, that is going to be Vikla grabbing that kill, as now Namgung is just going to flash to get on top of Raptor. Does manage to take him out, but it's a 2-for-1 in the dive on the bottom side, so BNK looking all right
a little bit greedy from BNK.
Yeah, especially the kill ends up going to the Nautilus, so I think BNK Ferex pretty happy with how that one panned out.
They can take Dragon now.
Focus damage down onto Kellen here.
Ya, Galio ulti gak penting sih.
Flashes away from the ult from Teddy though.
Yeah, and he wild growths himself and doesn't get hit by the chains of corruption because he flashed it.
Yeah,
that Galio is you don't need that.
Teddy, but honestly, it was a good eye from Teddy to see who was grabbing aggro. Just unfortunately, Kellen was a little bit faster on the trigger. Well, not faster, just reacted well.
Yeah.
All in all, BNK Ferex, I think.
Bro dapat dragon.
Nice. Gideon instantly responds and picks up the dragon as recourse for that play.
Yep. Clear has now got his Sundered Sky complete. In fact, that is the only thing he has in his inventory.
Priorities.
Yep. Certainly knows exactly what he
Betul
wants.
guys, sudah saatnya kita pindah lagi.
This is a bleak state of affairs in that bottom lane. Just an absurd amount of range between Ashe and Mal.
Saatnya melihat Jepang dibully Vietnam.
You know, the one good thing about playing against Mal is her Q is actually pretty dodgeable, and it doesn't do much damage if it only clicks you, you know, for that first tick. But unfortunately, against Ashe, if you're slowed, every tick hits, and so you actually do take a substantial amount of damage.
It's going to be pretty rough going for Cocoon. Already so far behind. Just that early trade at the start really set them back. Still level 1. Well down in CS, 5 to 18. It's early days though, Visions. Early days, so we're not too worried. But that's gonna suck.
Yeah, Mel emang support mid sih role-nya.
You know, like genuinely, this is the reason I stopped playing AD carry. I originally was an AD carry main, but nothing felt worse than just
main
loading into
Apelios
game
stress
and
tuh.
I'm against
Let's go.
like what was it back in the day? It was a lot of Xerath. It would be like Caitlyn Xerath. And it's like, what can I do about this? There's too many champions, you know, like I've got to ban Draven. And I can't ban everything. And so it's just like, oh, I can't be bothered with this anymore. So now I play top, and I play tanks. It's good fun.
You've got the full switch, and you know what? That's a vibe right there. You
Padahal
just get to
bagus
have a
match
bit more
lawan
fun,
Sinda.
you get to survive a lot
Mungkin
more,
tadi
you're not
aku
blown up
nggak lihat
instantly.
grafiknya sih tadi.
It's a good time.
Mereka juga nyangkanya gitu kali. Mungkin nyangkanya Mel mid makanya.
They did their best to get rid of them, but no, you cannot remove them, unfortunately. They are a bit of a staple in the
lawan
game.
Apelios juga.
Now we'll have to see
Ngeri
if
sih,
Cocoon's
Mel.
going to be able to get back into this game, do a little bit more into the 17 to 20
Itu balikin ultinya
still a bit of a quiet one thus far.
Oh.
No huge gold leads, but
pas late game.
Sadder and sadder every time we have this camera on the bot lane. And it's not even Karkun's fault, it's just an incredibly difficult lane. Great hook,
oh,
but
nice
immediate
hook.
cleanse.
Yeah. Oh, it's just look at the damage. Gang just can't do anything. That is the tank. That's the support, losing most of their health. Oh, I fear level 6.
Yeah. I mean the cleanse is at least there, but
oh, Elio, he's getting caught out. A lot of damage throws out the shield, but it looks like Gang is just going to get picked up for safety here. Nice lockdown. First blood for Shogun, and honestly, there's nothing you can do at this point. It's
You've picked Thresh, and you're not even allowed to use your hook. Because you get hooked.
Ini tiap nonton match Jepang kita bakal gini terus gitu.
22 CS lead.
Nontonnya sambil gigitin kuku.
I don't even blame Karkut. How are you supposed to play this lane.
Is Japan match is always gonna be like this now?
Strong laning phase, and again, it seems carrying on from what has been the case in the last couple of years for League of Legends esports. Strong laning champions tend to prevail. Of course, and it's not like they don't even scale, right? Like, sure, they're really strong in lane, but they're also strong late game champions as well.
Mel was brought out as one of these champions, and they had to do so much to sort of stop it. And you can see here, just backing in front of them is the disastrous part. And you can see the 1v1, the solo bolo here. Shawnee, very happy with this, is getting them very low. No one matters as they start to go for a little bit of a chase, is maybe a little bit of an overstay. But walking up, it does land a really nice combo as they start to retreat into the bush. The level 6, the double flash gets it done.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That is really well played. And back to live.
Did just died again?
And this is the biggest issue that Syndra has, and it's the reason why we don't tend to see a lot of Syndra. Is it's very
Bercanda Madura. It's a joke.
Right?
It's a
if you don't have
joke.
flash, you are pretty much a sitting duck in that mid lane. You have to be really careful with that scat of the week. And unfortunately, it's just so hard. You've lost flash. Enemy jungler has it, and we'll see it here. I imagine it's just a Q flash at the end, and yeah, simple as can be. There's nothing you can do here.
Biar viral. Mari rasis
If you can see
biar
my
viral.
face, it's just a bit of a frown, just shaking my head going, that is really gross gameplay. That's, you know what, again, big credit to Vikings. They have just drafted so well, and you just have to feel for DFM of like, what can they really do? As they're going to go for something. Shogun is the target. Flash comes out. See if they can turn this around. Elio's just going to say, no, I would like that kill, please.
Mel support everybody.
Oh, it should be allowed. I think this is what we're going to start seeing a lot more. As they pick up a double kill down to this bot side. Elio's just got no fear and no regard for their feelings whatsoever. Welcome to League of
Kita akan menonton ini selama 1 bulan penuh.
You can't blind pick Elio in game 2. This is what I've learned.
We're going to watch this for the whole month.
Good, right? They found passage onto Shogun, who did not have summoners. But then Elio is just untouched and one-shots Karkun.
We're gonna watch this for a whole month.
While this is all happening,
I might as well just do solo queue instead, brother.
Flashes forward and just dies.
Oh, it's just so gross. That's a 3v2, and they pick up a double kill against the 3 players.
Yeah. And it doesn't get any easier either. Does not get any easier. It's a rough state of affairs for obviously the bot lane here for DFM, but ultimately the team in general, because it's also been a bit of a struggle for Kayn in the middle lane, and also, I mean, a slight CS advantage for Kratos top as well. Although admittedly, Ray Faki is doing perfectly fine. I must say.
I don't even think we've looked top yet. I just think we've been looking at bot this entire time. Oh, yes. Have we seen anything top side? I'm pretty sure they're fighting right now, but we're just not looking at it.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you just never know when you're going to miss a kill down here, unfortunately. It's so gross, man. It's just really, and it's hard to play against. It's really frustrating, you know? Yeah. It's like, you can only play so well around just the
Ini aku dapat izin buat restream first stand nggak ya? Apa harus submit lagi nanti buat nobar first stand? Nah, kalau LCP kondisinya kayak gini gak seru sih. Tahun kemarin jujur lebih seru.
With the Thresh, you really are living dying by that hook, and with the
LCK udah mulai. Ntar malam ada Katie lawan Genji tuh kalau yang seru
It's
mah.
really, you got to go all in or nothing onto Shogun this Ashe. But the downside is the Mel at this point of the game, I would say probably does do a little bit more damage anyway. So it's like, yes, you can pick up the Ashe and sort of negate this 80 carry, but there's an AP carry right
ini
there.
overlay internasional, bukan ini overlay internasional turninya. Ini Asia Pasifik doang sih. Pacific Asia.
And like there genuinely is just not anything Karkun and Gang can do about it, especially with the flashes down, a fight breaking out top.
Dominus has been used. Rifaki's pretty low. Citrus is up on this top side. We might see a little bit more of a fight, but I don't think the dive is really the play. As Citrus now
Udah cuma
walking
Asia
around
sih, ada Australia sih.
Dominus is about to time out. Counter-strike is not going to hit the flash. Forward slice and dice is enough. Kratos loves the 2v1,
Genji lawan Katie aku gak restream ya.
Citrus
Aku ada
is going to
kerjaan.
hold on and pick up the return kill. 1 for 1.
Nanti jam 11 sih kita nonton LEC aja. Jam 11 malam ya. Jam 11 malam kita nonton LEC.
Land that stun, get himself that kill. Turned around by Citrus, so able to get himself some gold on the board, which on Jace is absolutely impactful.
DFM ini sejujurnya no hope sih.
Getting the dragon for himself and the team.
Kalau gini terus mainnya.
And while Citrus is having to be that sort of almost like a third support, you might even say, trying to impact these side lanes and give a little bit more agency, or at least take care of them a bit more. It is just alleviating Guri just to be so comfy. Taking his rejections. Oh, here's Shorty too. I think you might be dead. Yes, you dodged the arrow, but you can't do much against that. Shorty blasted into oblivion.
It's just sad.
Yeah. The old hype video was in the Taipei Metro, and unfortunately I think I saw where it landed, and that was straight in DFM's bot lane. Gang, absolutely nowhere to go. 0-3-0 now on the Thresh, and unfortunately just a fantastic draft out of Vikings, opening up this opportunity for themselves. And that is one credit I've always had to give Vikings as well. Sometimes their gameplay isn't the cleanest over the course of last year. They always are very smart at how they draft.
Kasih sindak.
Kratos is going to get taken out. 3 members top is a nice little pickup as Kaede is on the board.
Yeah, gets himself his
ini pasrah gitu loh mainnya.
But it is important to keep getting that goal.
Ray Farky masih rada tryhard sih.
Perfectly good at scaling the Syndra champion is.
Prediksi LCK T1 bakal mendominasi kayaknya. Iya. Aku positive thinking T1 menang LCK sih tahun ini. Tapi aku berharap mereka gagal di World sih. Bosen kocak, masa T1 mulu yang menang. Semoga T1 tahun ini gagal di semi.
Yeah, a little bit.
World-nya.
I'm sort of having like Vietnam flashbacks from low elo solo queue, and this is exactly what I'd come up against. And I'm like, what can I do? Yeah. What do I want to do?
I think
and as well. Sit there and farm.
I think as well as Aphelios does struggle.
Katie lawan Genji gitu final. Seru gak sih?
Can deal with these double range. Hold up, Kratos going for a 1v3 currently.
Yeah, he's looking for it as the Dominus gets hit. He's coming down, but no, Shawnee's on the back end as well. In between worlds is looking good. Look, Citrus, he's gone. We're making some form of juice, but who knows what it's going to be. Maybe it's orange. And Kratos is still hunting Kaku. Has he not suffered enough? As here comes Ray Farky, might have a return kill here. Shorty is looking very low. He's here, does land the hook. Nice shutdown heading over Ray Farky, but it's not enough as they've lost their tower.
Aku pengen nonton BNK lawan Bro anjing. Ini menyakitkan. This is painful. I want to watch Bro versus BFX, please.
They do get the 2 kills. There's a nice hook out of Gang at the back in there, so confirm that kill. Over onto Shawnee, Ray Farky getting the credit for it. But still, it is Vikings continuing to win more and more. But as I was going to say before, once again, action broke out as the replay comes through, is sort of the way you can deal with these
itu Mel support sih tai banget ya betul.
Aggressive laners, right? Like something like a Draven, for example.
Tidak ada yang lebih tai dari Mel support.
Where you can, if you close the gap, just isolate someone and take them out immediately, because they are squishy, right? That's the detriment of the Mal and the Ashe. If you do get onto them, they will die reasonably easily. But the problem is with Aphelios Thresh, it relies on a hook which can be blocked by the Mal, and so you don't really have any tools left at your disposal to try and close that gap and actually get onto that bot lane.
Yeah, and it's almost like, do you go for something more aggressive and just force the play? Like,
you know what?
The Ashe Mel, like, there's the knockback.
You know what? Let's just watch, bro.
That is
I want to see.
Not that much. Yeah, not that much. But
nonton Bro aja ke sih, anjir.
I know I'm getting hit by that shock blast 10 times out of 10. But that's okay because I'll be a Scion.
11 times out of 10.
I'll be a Scion with a Sunday, so it wouldn't do anything. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd be a mid laner, assassin melee mid laner. I'd be blasted to lose half my health.
Yeah. See, that's why tanks are good.
Mati lagi. Mati lagi.
He's not even allowed to move. Oh my lord, it's just too much at this point.
Bagus DFM, bro. Movie Star kalah sama DFM tahun 2001, 2021.
Yeah, especially without the cleans up. Unfortunately, the
LGL emang sepenting itu. Bring back LGL, please. We need LGL, please.
Yeah, it's a dire state of affairs. You're seeing the item Storm Razor and almost a second
Itu
item here
ngeboost
for
mental playernya
Shogun,
juga.
whereas
Bagus
Kakun's
itu.
still not even completing that collective despite getting the quest finished.
Please bring back LGL, please.
And the hardest part here as well is you only have one cleanse. Cocoon only has the one cleanse, and you have so much CC being layered onto you. You've got cease and desist from Vi. You have a crystal arrow from Ashe. Mel is going to hit you with multiple things that slow you down, along with a Blackfire torch just burn you alive. And you got CC coming out from Kratos. Like, you can only use it on one. After that, it's going to be followed up by everything else.
Kombonya sama Apelios emang kombonya gitu, cuma gak nyangka juga bakal support Mel musuhnya ya. Ini inilah susahnya.
And as you said, your cleanse, your Mikhails is nice, but when Vi is charging at you from half a map away and punching you in the skull, knocking you up, you can't cleanse it. So there are still absolutely tools for Kakun to have to try and navigate. And the Lantern is a tool, you know, you can drag Guri. So Guri has to be a little bit careful with his choices of that cease and desist. But if ever you're not close enough to your tower, it's pretty simple pickings on this as the Felios currently.
As Rift Herald is now being started up as well. It's just very easy, free objectives going over. There's Citrus again. This Jace pick just isn't having the same agencies that we're seeing overseas in the LCP. It's just not being given the love that it needs. Please pick up that eye, thank you. But still,
it's okay. Kita akan menonton DFM walaupun terbantai sih. I'm strong.
Let's see where it goes.
In fairness, the Jace is currently 0 wins
Aku
in the
masih
LCK
kuat
Cup, but
melihat
it's also 100%
penderitaan ini. Let's go.
So, you know,
I'm strong.
LCP Jace has the same win rate as LCK currently.
I'm going to handle this torture. No matter what.
It's a strong pick. It just hasn't really found its mark yet.
Di solo kill kan sama. Oke, buying party. Itu follow up terbang party, cok. Gas, flash. Sinda flash.
Taking some damage. Ray Farky's happy for the solo bolo there.
Ray Farky emang masih try hard dari tadi, cu.
But that was just not the place. Just maybe a little bit too aggressive.
Janji Kaede aku gak restream ya.
You can't be doing too many mistakes like that. That's a good chunk of change now for Ray. And on this Jax can be quite problematic. I say that, Kratos is just getting himself in a tower.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy pick up there. Tier 2 down on this bot side. Still all towers up and available. The side of Vikings. But let's watch that replay of this fight. I just feel like Shorty just pulled the trigger, missed everything, and just was not able to hold on.
Yeah.
Ya sih, kalau misalkan Apelios stress itu kayak mendingan kalau musuhnya Yunara gitu deh. Buat combo. Cuma kalau stressnya gini.
Shot coming in. Jax, Ray Farky really being that sort of pressure, that maybe the pinnacle that they're trying to hold on to that can get things done. Like you said, Jax can be very big.
Mereka pause.
As the game progresses, but we've got to pause here.
Guys, ini aku terpaksa ini mah. LCP-nya pause. Ya udah kelar. Tidak. Udah kelar. Siapa yang menang? Di BFK ya? Terpaksa ini. LCP-nya lagi ngepas.
나 본라인 가져올게. 아, 미달게. 야, 레드 할게. 레드 싸움하자 바로 얘들아. 여기서 볼게. 맞아. 야, 여기 짜부터 나 괜찮아. 공 3초야. 괜찮아. 아, 오케이. 야, 보자. 아, 빨리. 유나. 한번 빼고. 아, 맞아.
Apelios gak terlalu gimana, be aja malah lebih combo ke jungle mid-nya. Enggak, sampai Apelios gak salah sih. Bagus-bagus aja, tapi ya tetap tergantung supirnya. Belum lagi kan ini fearless draft, jadi ya pick terbatas gitu loh. Sisa yang meta ya Apelios free ya diambil. Aku pengen nonton bro. Udah mulai.
By a champion. That's a nice little change up, because usually I would assume Rift Herald would hit it and then the crystals are gone. You're like, that didn't feel too great, but you still get that real dopamine hit and satisfaction of popping those crystals.
Aku juga belum nonton sinematiknya.
I'm gonna have to test it out. What gives more dopamine, Heartsteel stack or Crystal Tower? Is like the conversation for me. Or winning the grass minigame top is another big one.
Ya, sejujurnya aku kurang demen sinematik sih. Aku lebih suka yang ada lagu-lagunya kayak World Anthem atau lagu skin gitu loh. Kalau sinematik biasanya nggak ada lagunya.
You get the rare dopamine hit of the post teleport, power teleport with a shield bash. That's a big chunk of dopamine. It's just not doing enough damage for me. No. I think that's mostly because it's repelling it back, and Jace doesn't have that much damage right now.
Yeah.
Jace baru 2 item.
It does get exciting seeing those, because you get to late game, right? The Jace powered blast is just like half their HP gone, but it is a little bit underwhelming currently. But he is, as you said, a little bit behind, and so not got that damage there to really hit hard with the empowered shock blast. But I'm sure he'll get there. The Bastion Breaker picked up. I think it's the first time we've seen the item in this season. A lot of lethality. It gives you some true damage as well, which is a unique thing now for these assassin champions.
Gambatte kudasai.
Scaling with lethality, so.
Mangat Treyvarki.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice little change up. It's nice to see a bit more items. It's not just bagpipes being played every time. So always good to see.
No bagpipes this game.
I'm down for it.
Oh, Shawnee has to be careful. Great counter strike.
Counter strike. Ooh, Shawnee getting half health there too. A lot of crystals, but again, there's crocodiles waiting in the waters, and by waters I mean just pushing side lanes and getting free towers. It's a lot to deal with. With Dragon also being up, they're already on it. Vikings getting so much pressure on these objectives.
For sure. Mountain Dragon, third of the game.
Tapi musuhnya tipis-tipis sih. Kalau dapat kill sekali aja, bisa snowball itu Apelios. Collector is fine. Musuhnya gak tanky banget ini, asal dapat 1 kill aja, bisa nggak ya?
He's in the right spot. They catch
jungle aing ngapain di situ anjir?
Down, and there's just nothing we can do. Rayfark trying to hold on with that counter strike, but still a double kill for the crocodile. Sadly, this time it's the crocodile making handbags.
That will be the 2 down. Top and jungle down. Rayfark.
What is my jungle doing over there?
Very little can be done by DFM to stop it. They have 3 members alive, but squishy members at that, and a lot to turn around with on the side of the Vikings. Getting those kills, keeping all their sums, means this Baron could very well be the end of the game. Maybe no soul required.
And you see they're trying to pressure mid to the other side. DFM trying to get something going, but there's just not enough people on the map. There's Baron, very easy, secure to the side of Vikings, and it just comes down to how much control these lanes had in the early start that just fed everything. And you got to give it to them. They've just one draft, they've won the game so
udah kelihatan ya pakai scanner si Vai.
Very nicely good replay. You gotta be a little bit worried though.
It's just painful to watch, brother.
It's hard to fight back from here. There's not even the most amount of wave clear, realistically. I mean, if you have the blue gun on Aphelios, you do a bit of damage, but
ya kalau keciduk satu-satu gini susah ya.
Bit from Syndra, but obviously magic damage doing less to these Baron empowered minions.
Nonton nanti jam 11 nonton ya, LEC lawan Fnatic ya, Lost Ratons. Fnatic rosternya humanoid kah? Humanoid main lagi.
Red and white do not fight. That is the golden rule. I've always liked the Infernum. I just love hitting people with an ult of a Moonlight Vigil with that. always looks awesome. Just it's like fireworks.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I mean, it's nothing like the release. Oh my lord, release of Aphelios was an absolute demon. You hit a Moonlight Vigil with the Infernum Gum, and you actually just 1v5. You've just pentakilled them. It was so bonkers. So I'm glad they lowered the.
Is Kratos in trouble here?
Aduh, itu ultinya.
Dominus out is even in 1v3, but no, Crystal Arrow is just going to skim and not here, but here's Guri as well, now trying to lock them down. It's a lot of damage, the slice and dice is good, but no, that's an Aphelios. You are just too far behind, they do lock them down, double kill again. The Crocodile is feeling good tonight. And the flash forward between two worlds, this is very aggressive for Shorty, they're just limit testing at this point. Kaede locks them down, Unleashed Force is going to get it done. And here they get the TP back, Baron and Powered. They're walking down bot lane.
I have no comment on the trash, brother.
Yeah, it's Kaede and Rayfaki against the world. Shawnee going down, and you can say what you want about him. He's an aggressive player. Nexus Tower 1 looking to fall. The second should
no comment, aku mah no comment.
First of all, Respawn's actually coming through.
Okay, we still live. Okay, nice hook. Let's go. Kasih itu, kasih Aphelios. Kenapa diambil?
Shutdown does go over. Maybe a slight overstep by the side of Vikings there, but they are 10k gold up. I feel like they can afford it.
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, lower respawn timers means it is a little bit harder to end the game this early into it. So, not able to do so on this occasion. Respawns come through and able to defend the base.
Napas dikit.
More than enough, I think, to get
dikasih
this one
napas dikit.
Great start of this fight for Kratos.
Coba itu. Yang kena.
Quickly find his way to Karka. Clean's taken out. Find some time. Waits for the Fury again. And find his way back in there.
My trash could not be like this.
Karka unfortunately just doesn't have that damage. The items absolutely not there.
My trash could not be like this.
Do you like also, well, I'm just focusing on the Aphelios because I want to give them a little bit of love as much as possible. Do you like the Collector start, or do you think Stormraiser is the go? Because I feel like the Stormraiser has a slightly higher win rate.
Gayeng kayaknya nggak bisa main trash deh udah. I think this Aphelios strategy is not working, guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've always, even last, because I play quite a bit of Aphelios, and I've always been a fan of like an attack speed item of sorts first. So,
tapi bayangin ya, kalau misalkan nanti first 10 perwakilan Eropa Los Ratons, wah edan sih. Pecah sih. Los Ratons lawan T1 di first 10, wah kacau. Kacau.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Collector necessarily.
And final drag now being started up by Guri as well. All the members are down there, except for Shawnee, who's happy to sit up top side and just try and steal a blue buff by the looks of it. But that is going to be Soul. Mountain Soul's going to make it a lot harder to kill these tanks, and that's why we're seeing such success from Kratos. Big shields are going to make it so hard for this Crocodile. That hardened skin is going to be looking good.
Level 17 against level 13 is the difference between Kratos and Karkun. Yeah, I don't know what chance really Karkun stands, unfortunately. Ray,
don't die.
Really here to help Guri, so wisely decides not to overcommit to that one. But as a quick caveat back to the Collector thing, I just don't really like Collector as an item, to be honest. So I'm a little bit biased. I think like there are some champs, of course, that Collector's really nice on. I think Akshan is one of them. But like, in general, a lot of champs that build Collector, I feel like get more value out of just going Armor Pen. Like this Corki going third item Collector, I think by that stage, Collector's effectiveness has somewhat expired. So having that extra shred or going for the
belum dapat stack loh, itu kolektornya beneran anjir. Tadi sebenarnya bisa dapat kill tuh pas yang ada over commit di Nexus, malah diambil sama Jax.
As an item to just have a timer that you're on until you sort of lose effectiveness.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. It's definitely a different game as well for that Ashe, who is just so much further ahead, almost Flame Horizon, as they are 342 CS in 27 minutes. They've just been free farm, and Crystal Arrow does go out. It goes on the French in between worlds. Elio, he's just going to lock that one down. Rayfar, he's all alone, has the Overwatch just to stay alive a little bit longer, but it's a double kill again. Elio's just stealing these kills. That's exactly what you want from a Mel support.
Yeah, wrap it
Flash
up.
is going forward. They
Wrap
want
it up.
even more. Good scatter of the week
This is
going to
painful.
keep them back, but the resets are not enough. They're at the Nexus. They're taking the tiers. They're all cleaning up. 28 minutes in this game. Soul, Void Grubs, Baron, 12k gold lead.
Well, masih early season sih guys. Kita lihat nanti beberapa minggu ke depan. Pegal aku nontonnya, cok.
Starting hot, they did much the same last year and will hopefully able to continue what was an incredibly exciting series. Shawnee coming in first
Ya,
time
masih
here on the
awal
big stage.
season, mungkin beberapa minggu ke depan akan menjadi lebih baik untuk Japan. I really wish Japan got better next week. For now, I want to go bed. Saatnya mandi, berangkat kerja. Bye bye guys. Bro, udah kok emang masih ada bro? Bentar. Oh iya, bro masih ada. Bro masih ada. Bentar, satu match lagi. Ganti stream dulu. Jangan kemana-mana. Pindah stream.